Start your show now. Press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
All right, testing 1, 2, y'all. You're tuned into the Tim Black Show, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Okay. My notepad over here. Hey, people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Something sounds kind of crazy. Is it doing that? Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, it is. A little echo. All right. Hope it's okay. Let me first go make sure everybody can hear. Let me put the phone number up real quick. This is the phone show, the phone in, Freedom Friday, phone in line 319-527-6212. Let me make sure. Yeah, voice is going on. There we go. You're live here. All right, people on Facebook, people on YouTube. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week. Hope everybody's ready for their weekend. Let's go to YouTube first this time and see if everybody is connected on YouTube. Make sure we're good to go on that platform. Wow. Rev Marie, Trekkie Monster, Diana, Lisa, Brian, good to have you, Lotus Flower, Canvas Dancer, Coy Foster, Robin, Rahul, Viking Tees, David, what's up, David? Welcome back to the show. Caught you twice in one day. That's good. Jacqueline Richards. And, yeah, so I know it's a little early. This is closer to the time it should be. So... So yeah, trying to do a better job on that. Yeah, okay, that's okay. And YouTube. Welcome to the Wolfpack, Jacqueline Richards. I don't know when you did this, but thank you for joining. VIP, that's what's up. What's up, Nikki and Sha? Mom Alaska, D. Ray, Ebony Fried, David, once again. Twitter retweets. Yeah, we're trying to do it. Trying to get it in. I guess I should do that right now. Thank you, David. Because people are not going to like what I have to say. People are not going to like what I have to say. And it has to be said, though. We have to speak truth to power, man. I have to do it. Live now. All right. Now, let's go to Facebook. Make sure Facebook's okay. This time, YouTube is all green. All green lights on YouTube. Damn it. William, what's up, Larry? What's up, William? Bibby, Nicholas, Julie's in the house. Heath, what's up, Heath? How you doing? Okay, and posting a bunch of links. Great, fantastic. William Welsh, Fedson Milford. What's up, man? What's up, Fedson? Alicia, good to have you, Alicia. Jasmine, good to have you back. Daniel, Evan, Rose. Okay, long speech about what you will not vote for. Good for you. Robin, what's up? What's up, MC Toussaint? Joanne, say no to Joe. Bob, thank you, Robin, for respecting the interview. Appreciate that. Thank you for the love, sis. Sounds fine here on GB. Thanks, Dale. What's up, Margarita Silva, Potts, and Sarah? Yeah, we're doing good. Deanna, good to have you. What's up, Steve? Alana, Joyce, we're doing good. This is what I'm talking about. Thank you, everybody. Pamela, Bruce, who's that? Bruce. All right, Janice, Robert, Becky. I think Shamim, Arizona in the house, representing Arizona. Joanne is in the house. Thank you so much. Hollywood, Christopher Jones. Doom. All right, we're doing good, guys. Susanna, Kevin Vasquez, and Kimberly Opal. See, I could do this all day, man, because and I used to. But then I learned that other people are tuning in, they're going, what's this show about? He just do a bunch of sound offs and call people name out? No, we have a community. I know it's crazy, right? We have a community on YouTube and on Facebook and on Patreon. And we got these groups of people that all come together. They form this thing called the Tim Black Wolf Pack. They're all called Johnsons because everybody's Johnson. No matter what color you are, whatever race you are, whatever orientation you are, whatever gender you are. We're all Johnsons. All right, so once we start seeing each other as extensions of ourselves, maybe we treat each other a little bit better, right? And maybe we could open and be more embracing of one another. Okay, if we realize it really ain't that much difference. It's just this much difference between all races, all people, right? We know the world operates on a different, don't get it twisted. I ain't saying people colorblind or don't see orientation. We see all that. But what I'm saying is there really is there's very little difference between individual and individual. Okay? So we try to look at each other that way, and we are a community, so we support one another. So I do the roll call because this show right here don't exist without people like you. Okay, it does not exist without a community, without the people. Okay, because there is no corporation that's going to be bold enough to get behind Tim Black in this form. Okay, now if I watered it down with a gallon of spring water and kissed a lot of ass and lied for politicians, then yeah, that'd be fine. Then my family be great. They have a big house and stuff and cars and the doors would be like this instead of like this. The doors go up in the air. That type of thing might happen, but this is just fine for us. We simple people. I'm over 40. It's over, and it's just now about the next generation, about the kids. So and what I hope to accomplish here is a little bit of revolution, helping the revolution along, doing my part for it. And that's what we do here. Phone lines are open. So Freedom Friday, how it works is I do a monologue. I run down a couple of news stories, news items you may have missed. I covered so much this week. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't look up more stories for today, for tonight. because I've been having a busy week of covering all this content. I got videos still that I have to put out from earlier shows, like the NFAC. I had to put that video out. I put the video out about the cop. I got to do a video about the rescuing of the child from the window of the burning apartment. The police officers in Houston, I covered that. And there's a couple other stories that aren't coming to my mind right now that I need to put out as well. So we got so much content to put out. But I do have a couple things that are at the top of my head that happened that I noticed, right? These are things that caught my eye. Okay, I didn't have time to research them, but they caught my eye, so I thought I'd share them. And then I have an opinion I'd like to share if you don't, if you would indulge me for a second, everybody, and check this out. First thing I'd like to talk about is Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, I'm talking about this because I'm not going to get into the nooks and crannies of this story. Frankly, I don't really know them, okay? I don't know. I'm really... My head is all into the revolution, all into politics, all into social issues, protests. These are things that I'm only one person. I don't got a lot of bandwidth for. Who sleep with who? Who? Somebody slept with somebody? Somebody had an affair? I didn't have one, did I? Okay, no, not me. Oh, then I don't have time to be... So today, I'm getting ready for the show. It's crazy. I was getting ready for the show. I just, scrolling through, right, my timeline on YouTube, but you couldn't call it a timeline, right? My home screen. And I saw, because you see the live shows, I saw there was a woman with a live show about Will and Jada. Will and Jada live show. Will and Jada exclusive. Will and Jada convo. I'm like, okay, so Will and Jada going to be on here. Right? No, and I said, damn, it had 28,000 people watching it. I said, wow. I know there was something about Will and Jada on Facebook. We should do the red table or something. She on YouTube too? I look at some person talking about Will and Jada. 28,000 people are watching someone talk about what we just saw. It's like The Walking Dead. They were so popular they did Talking Dead after The Walking Dead. So after Jada and Will's tell-all, there was a talking about the tell-all, where now this person will come up and just curse a lot and talk about what you just saw and tell you what you just saw. And it's all about somebody else's relationship and what she think about their relationship. Now, look, it's bad enough that probably 100,000, that's probably modest number, right? It's bad enough. Probably about 500,000 people watched Jada Pinkett and Will Smith talk about an affair she had years ago. That's bad enough. But we got damn near 30,000 people talking about watching somebody else talk about it. And it just really, I'm laughing, man, but it's sad to me. It's shameful. It's shameful. It's pathetic. We couldn't get 5,000 people to give a damn about Voting Rights Act. We couldn't get 10,000 people to care enough about Ahmaud Arbery. Not in an online vigil. We couldn't get 20,000 people to give a flying film about Breonna Taylor. Online. I'm talking about online. Stop everything to watch, not a press conference, not the actual thing. Do you really think if I did a show about Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, I don't know, Tony Temper, anyone who's been murdered by cops, any situation even evolving around social issues, hell, political issues. 28,000 is a lot of people to watch somebody else talk. You think I could get 10,000 people to listen to me talk about the need for us to get out to vote in South Carolina? I know I couldn't, Johnson. I know there's no way I could get 20,000 people together for that. Not online. Me. And what I'm saying is our priorities are so scratched up. They're so botched up. It's so horrific. It ain't even got nothing to do with Will and Jada Smith. It has to do with what the priority, the consciousness of Americans are. It's everywhere except where it needs to be. It's everywhere except where it needs to be. For 2 seconds, we gave the same amount of attention to trivial bullshit. Listen, look, I understand people are curious by nature, celebrity. Oh, it's great, you know? I get that, right? These aren't even the celebrities. These are people talking about the celebrities. Get what I'm saying? Not only celebrity, not only is it trivial that a married couple has to discuss a relationship, a separation. They were separated and somebody had a relationship while they were separated, which is pretty common. But not only is it trivial for those two people to discuss that publicly and that become a big story everywhere where they got to discuss it publicly, how horrible is it now? Even the people that talk about it get fame off it. Now, I know how the media works. I'm part of it. But people give me crap. Now I got to make it about me, right? People give me crap about talking about, I don't know, Karens. At least Karens are socially relevant to a point in time where people are hypersensitive. Something's going on in this country where people are being exposed for using race, weaponizing race, using the police. That's a thing. That's not a made-up thing. That's not just some shit we just say. People have died behind other people weaponizing the police, knowing what they're doing when they do that, when they make those calls. There are people like, well, Tim, why you make a video about that? Why you make a video about that? There are people making videos about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett right now getting 20 times the viewership about trivial shit. You don't know what trivial is if you think that's trivial. To talk about what's going on in our society, not a person's personal relationship who don't affect you at all, got nothing to do with you, got nothing to do with your children, got nothing to do with the world, has to do with their personal relationship. I'm not saying this is indicative of any one group. There are, I'm sure right now, there's somebody watching somebody do a video of a prank that has, I don't know how many people watch it. I get it. So I'm not picking on black folks who care about this, because I'm sure there's some white folks talking about a gaming marathon of something, Call of Duty or something, and there's 40,000. Don't get it twisted. I saw Joe Rogan talk with Alex Jones about absolutely nothing, and there was about 100,000. So I'm not saying that any group's better than any other group. So let's get this. Let's be true. Let me make sure you understand that, because I don't want people to think I'm dumping on any particular group, because all groups are guilty of it. All right, all groups do their thing, but it's just, for some reason, the way it landed in my soul and my spirit, man, was like, wow. I had an interview today. I aired the video of Michael Moore. Somebody in my comment section on Facebook kept posting how they didn't care about Michael Moore. They don't care about celebrities. And that I was wasting my time. No. Being a person of 28,000 people, watching someone else talk about Jada Pinkett in a relationship Jada Pinkett and Will Smith had, that's a waste of time, Johnson. Tim Black bringing on a surrogate for Bernie Sanders, one of the leading filmmakers, documentary filmmakers of all time in America, one of the most notable. That's not a waste of time. You just don't like him. But that's not a waste of time. Me bringing on any of these people that I brought on, whether it's Cornel West, at some point people got to respect it. But they don't have to respect it. That's the point. They don't value this shit. I could bring on Dr. Cornel West and get 3,000 people, maybe. Lucky, if I'm lucky. Bring on Senator Nina Turner, get a couple thousand people. 28,000 people. Bring on Reverend Barber, how many people I get? Get what I'm saying? Get where I'm going? And it just feels like people say they want change in this country. People say they want a lot of shit. They talk about what they need. They talk about what the country doesn't give them. They talk about what the government doesn't provide. But we are all distracted and we're all bogged down in things that are very trivial. Very trivial. You don't understand trivial until you stop looking at us, independent media, and look at what the rest of the world's talking about. What you think Russiagate was? That's trivial. A fallacy, a made-up thing exploded, exaggerated 20 times over, and kept your attention for 3 years. That makes Jada Pinkett and Will Smith sound great. At least that's a real thing. Now I just ruined my whole gripe, right? And every network was involved, not just somebody on YouTube. Okay, so yeah, I'm making bigger. I'm exaggerating a little bit how bad it is. But at the moment, at the time, it just felt bad. It felt like I'm gearing up to do this show, and look at this. I couldn't get these people to pull away from what this lady's opinions are of Jada to talk about real shit if I paid them. Because they don't care about that. And it's sobering. And it always keeps you humble. It makes you realize no matter what you do to the vast many, and I mean that, the vast many, it just makes you appreciate those that care, those that are engaged, those that are trying to change this country, those that are trying to actually fix things from our election practices, our ballot access, to defunding the police. You think those people would show up for a defund the police explanatory live stream about it? No. Not 28,000, Johnson. No. So when people do, and they are sharing this information, not just for themselves, but they're sharing it with their friends, when they're exposing the world to it, man, when they care about these issues, when you do what you do, which is you go to Facebook groups and you post about it. You could be talking about who slept with who and who dated what and who dropped the new this and who, and don't get me wrong, everybody likes to have fun sometimes. But are we really in a fun having time for real, for real? Like, is that it? That's what we are, that's what we doing? For the last, do you realize there are people still out in D.C. right now protesting? Right now, there are people out protesting in the streets still. They still haven't gone home. But you've moved on. You've moved on. They took down the NASCAR Confederate flag at the NASCAR. You've moved on. You're now Will and Jada Pinkett. Just where the dumb media wants you to be. Just where corporate media wants us to be. Moved on to the next thing. All right, nothing else to see here. So, the only hope we have is that people like yourself, everybody watching the show right now who could be doing something much lighter, just as carefree, is that you aren't doing that right now, that you are engaged, and that you'll share it. Because it's important what's going on in our world. It's important to understand what's happening in this country. It's important to hear from your brothers and sisters all across the world, all across this country, all across the world, to hear from those people firsthand and know you're not alone and know what the issues are and not be spoon-fed lies by corporate media. That's the ability of this show, is that people call in from all over the country to tell you the truth, to hear it so you can hear it for yourself, what people in Florida are thinking, so you can know what people are thinking in North Carolina or in California, in New Jersey, in Maryland, in D.C., in New Hampshire, in Connecticut, Rhode Island, in Maine. How else would you really know unless you're there? Meanwhile, because we know what CNN will do. CNN will get a focus group of people handpicked out of somebody's phone book that they know to come in and sit in a group and say whatever they want them to say. Already know what the responses to the answers going to be. And Fox does the same thing. Get a hand-picked group of people, tell you they from someplace, and then tell you what people are thinking, just to persuade your mind, just to manufacture consent. So that's what's up, man. And that was kind of all over the place, but damn it, I just felt the need to say it. The next thing I like to say, wow. Stop lying for Joe Biden. Yeah, that's what I think I titled it. Stop lying for Joe Biden. Stop lying for Joe Biden. Then I changed it to stop lying about Biden. Stop lying about Biden. And I had to take it. See, I had to change. I moved the word because first I said stop lying for Biden. Then I realized there's people that are lying. Biden ain't asking them to lie. They're voluntary liars, Johnson. No one asked them to tell you a lie. No one asked them specifically, hey, go out and do the thing. Go out and make Joe Biden look better than he is. Pretend that Joe Biden is the second coming of FDR. Pretend that Biden is progressive. No one told him that. The only people that have been told to do that are people that are paid like surrogates. Like Tulsi Gabbard had a couple of surrogates. They didn't say they were surrogates, but they were surrogates. You should have to disclose that type of thing. But, you know, Biden has a couple of surrogates like, what's her name? Simone Sanders. She's a surrogate. She's paid to do a job. We could get into ethics about her doing the job, but she did take the position. She didn't hide it from you and think that she's a Bernie surrogate when she's a Biden surrogate. And I know I've heard rumors too, but we're not getting into that. But at least she's upfront and honest. Hey, I work for Joe Biden. But the people that are lying about Biden, a lot of them are paid by Biden. They're lying preemptively in hopes in lieu of things. Man, that's the best person. That's a great deal. Where you get people to lie for you without even asking them to, without even promising them anything, without even holding anything over their heads. They just lie out of reflex. You know, everybody's not an idiot. Meaning not everyone believes, idiot's a strong word. Not everyone is under the fog. Not everyone is detached from reality. You get what I'm saying? There's a phrase that you'll hear me say a lot, or often, a statement that was made by Dr. Cornel West. Michael Moore repeated the same phrase to me when we interviewed. And he said, as Dr. Cornel West said, I will vote for Joe Biden, but I won't lie for Joe Biden. I will not vote for Joe Biden. Me. I wish people stop saying that to me. Where's your button? It don't matter. I'm not voting for Joe Biden. I don't wear no Joe button because I don't want Trump supporters to think I'm a Trump supporter, because I'm not. And I don't want Democrats to think I'm a Trump supporter, because I'm not. Now, you could wear one because you're not a public person. Won't you wear one and go walk around? Go ahead. Now, if I was a Trump supporter, that'd be different. See, people can't hold in their head two thoughts. They can't imagine a world where you can not like both candidates and opt out of both of them. That's me. I'm not trying to influence you to do that. I'm not telling you to not cast a vote. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. So the next person that says that, I'm just going to block you. Because I'm very clear. If you're a fan of the show, you have to watch the show to be a fan. And you should know, I'm not lying for Joe Biden. I was one of his harshest critics. I was a harsh critic of everyone. Harsh critic of Andrew Yang. When he lied, I called him out. I did the same thing with Joe Biden, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren. So get off my lawn. But these people are lying about Joe Biden as if Joe Biden people don't deserve honesty. I don't want people to have their hopes up high like they did with Obama. You understand what I'm saying? I had my hopes up high about Obama. In 08, I didn't know anything about this stuff. I wasn't paying attention to it. I was too worried about making sure I was taking care of my family, that we would have roof over head. I was worried about regular stuff that most people worry about. You know, regular stuff. You know, stuff some of you are still worrying about. You know, you're still like not, you know, some of you are not into politics. You're just getting introduced to it. And you're like a fog. You really don't know. And all you know is somebody was talking about hope and change. That's what Obama was doing. I don't want people to go through what I went through. And I'm not going to add to it. I'm not going to give people a false sense of security about what Joe Biden means, what this means. But I'm also not going to lie about Donald Trump. I'm also not going to try. You don't understand how much opportunity there is in keeping it gray. A lot of people keep it gray about Trump because he has a lot of love across the internet. That's one way to be very successful and make a lot of money in this climate. He is the president. There are people, there's only a couple of locations couple of cable stations you can go to get favorable Trump coverage. So if people cover Trump favorably in independent media, they do well financially. They don't even have to be talented. I mean, please, guys, let's keep it 100. Look, there are people doing Trump content right now. They're not interesting, not talented, not skilled, not really just. They're not performers. They're not journalists. They're just people talking about Trump. The stuff and Trump girls are probably millionaires right now. What were they doing before they did that? I rest my case. The point is this, guys. Back to the point. I will not lie for Joe Biden. These people need to stop lying for Joe Biden. I hope that your pants burn, incinerate, spontaneously combust, and burn up your private section. I hope that your dog runs away, your wife leaves you. I mean, something bad needs to happen. Or your husband leaves you for another husband. I hope that things happen. Make you do some real soul searching. Or and same thing with the woman. I hope that the woman leaves you and gets another. I don't care. Hey, whatever stings more for you. Whatever hurts your pride more. Whatever. If it's with a man or with a woman. Whatever. Or a trans person. There you go. Anything. Just leaves you. Hell, leaves you and marries a bridge. You know, they do that nowadays. There are people that marry inanimate objects. So don't be inanimate objectophobia. Because there are people that marry physical things. Don't believe me, you need to. So the point is, the line about Joe Biden is repugnant. It's disgusting. It's misleading. Now, we've all had jobs we probably didn't like, or jobs we took to feed our families. And there's some jobs we did we wish we could take back. We wish we could go back in time maybe and not work those jobs. And maybe some of us have jobs now, but things being as they are, we need to keep those jobs until we can get better jobs or be able to do whatever we choose to do or what have you. Okay? Coming from where I come from, thrift store shopping, picking up junk on the side of the street, fixing it up, selling it with my mom to pay the mortgage or pay the bills before we had a mortgage. Whatever we had to do, wearing the Sykes instead of Nikes, like Martin said, Sykes instead of Nikes. You know what I'm talking about. You know, bread sandwich with nothing on it, sugar sandwich, whatever, Kool-Aid, bad for you. Like, whatever you grew up with, roaches, spiders, lady long legs crawling on your bed, everybody, 3 kids in one bed, whatever your situation is, okay? Outhouse, in-house, poorhouse, whatever it was. I'm not here to shame you about the job you have to have or that you used to have. What I'm saying is, at least that's a job. There are people lying about Joe Biden who don't have to lie for Joe Biden. They're doing it because they are hoping to get a job. They're doing it to secure work. You are despicable. You're unethical as hell. Someone said, Tim Black, I don't like Michael Moore dumping on Donald Trump. He's easy to dunk on. He's easy to call out Donald Trump. Yeah, I know, but it's easy to call out Democrats too. I know. I've been doing it for 5-6 years. Why do you think so many conservatives followed me on Facebook? They just, whenever I talked about Trump, they missed that day. Then they found out and then they unfollowed. So don't tell me this name. Don't make it act like it ain't a lot to talk about the Democrats. Democrats are easy to call out. Sort of like the way Michael Moore called out Elizabeth Warren and set a record, destroying her ass. I mean, I didn't see anybody else do that, Johnson. Not who was an insider. I mean, he demolished her. I have to come to grips with the fact that there's some people. Everybody not going to be like me, and everybody not going to be like you. And I respect that, and I get that. I'll never tell you to vote for anybody. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to say vote for somebody or don't vote for somebody, but I am going to tell the truth about that somebody to the best of my ability. And whatever it calls for, that's what you're going to get. And that's the way it should be. You should know the benefits, the ups and downs, the pros and cons of the thing that you're thinking about purchasing. And I should not slander anyone unnecessarily. I should not, praise someone more than I should. You want an honest review. And in the news business, it should be about telling you what's happening. about conveying information, sharing that information. So that's all, guys. There's just something on my mind. Stop lying for Biden and stop lying about Biden. Obama dropped 26,000 bombs his first year in office. He set records dropping bombs. He also set records deporting people. Now, maybe you don't have a problem with deporting people. You sure act like you do under Trump. Trump's doing things that are disgusting as well. He's caught up with Obama with the deportations. He's installed more conservative judges than any other president, even presidents who served 2 terms. In his first term, he's installed more conservative judges than any other president. That's the big thing that Trump has done. Now, that may not be a problem for you. You may say, so what? Well, maybe you are not a black person who often gets the entire bookshelf thrown at his ass or bookcase thrown at him when he goes into court. Or maybe you're not a petty drug offender in a small town with a conservative judge, be you white, black, Latino, or Hispanic, or Native American, or indigenous, or Asian, and have to go in front of that judge who will throw everything at you, put you in the worst conditions for the longest amount of time. But that's what Trump is doing. Because maybe you aren't moved by the environmental catastrophe, which is Donald Trump, the deregulating king, which is Donald Trump, the environment destroyer, who just pardoned Roger Stone's immoral, decrepit, and proud of it. Morally bankrupt and proud of it. Yep. There's always more than enough harsh truth for anyone in politics. More truth. Less buddying up to the elite. More truth. More truth. And if you really look at those things, you look at the truth, the reality of Joe Biden's 94 crime bill, look at the reality of his deregulation, look at the trade, his rhetoric. I mean, just as bad. He was just as bad as Hillary Clinton with the super predators. Hell, he was even worse. She didn't hold public office. I didn't see them forgiving her. I digress, guys. Look, that's it. We're going to go to phone lines in a minute. Don't lie about Trump. Don't lie for Trump. Don't lie about Biden. Don't lie for Biden. It's very simple. And if you are a voting person, a person who's going to vote, make your own decision, but choose it wisely. I want to thank everybody that tuned into my interview with Michael Moore today. I'll tell you, before we go to phone calls, I will say this, and this is important. I'm hoping to collaborate. So maybe I need your help. I would like to collaborate with people who are outside of what we do. Yeah, like people who are in different fields. Like if you're a recording artist, or if you have a show that's sports, or if you do something different. I'm running into this thing where I realize there's a lot of it's just too, everyone's jumbled. I think it'd be better to work with people who are not directly related to the same thing I'm doing. You know, I mean, how often does Jimmy Fallon go on the Jimmy whatever show, like the Jimmy Kimmel show? Hardly ever, right? It don't make sense, right? Because they're in the same line. So, like, I mean, I think that would be best. So if you have any ideas, suggestions of collaborations in that way, not just people coming on my show, please, but the other way around, some ideas, because that's what we need to do. We need to expand this wolf pack, and we need to do so in other areas that are not directly related. I'd like to give a shout out to Katie Halper, who invited me on her show last week. We're going to do a makeup date. I had some issues. My internet was bad all day. Horrible day, okay? So I had to postpone, and she was very accommodating to that. A big shout out to her. I hope there's I did already tweet. I was so set on going, I had already posted Facebook posts. I told you about it. I retweeted her show. So hopefully, just for inviting me, hope some people visited her show who were Wolfpack fans, because Katie seems like a great person. And I appreciate her offering me that opportunity. All right, guys. You ready for the phone lines to open? I know I'm ready. Woo! It's easier when I just have a news item to discuss, but I don't know, man. I just felt like everywhere I look, there's people lying about, they're making Trump, they're making Trump sound, some people making Trump sound like he okay, like he's not horrible, like he's not inciting white nationalists, which he is. Almost every video that I've seen of somebody acting a complete asshole is like they're channeling Trump. They're like, yeah, this is our country. And they wouldn't talk that way if Obama was president. Talk that way because they got a gangster in the house. That's why they're talking that way. I don't know how you can't get that. I don't know how people know. So either people are downplaying the train wreck that Trump is, and I get why some people are. Some people they work for stations or somehow connect. I don't know. But then I got the other side. I got people downplaying how bad Biden is. Like, hey man, Biden and Trump are both. One's a noose, the other cyanide. I mean, come on. But both, it's like everywhere I look, and very rarely are people saying just that. Both are bad. Both suck. Both are, but, you got to make a decision, and I feel for you. Swing state people. And that's real. And whatever side you're on, if you could just say, if you're a Trump person, if you had the galls, because they're disingenuous as hell too. Trump people are not honest. They act like Trump's doing a good job. They act like people aren't dying from coronavirus. They want to deny how bad things are because it hurts Trump. That people are dying. And he did a horrible job. He denied that this was even a thing. While people were dying all over the globe, he denied it. While people were locking down other countries, he was denying it. He was coming to tell you, it's going to be fine. It's going to get summertime. It's going to go away like magic. He called it a flu. A flu. Well, Trump supporters are so disingenuous, they won't even admit he dropped the ball on the coronavirus. Forget everything else he's done. Forget that. They won't even admit that. So, hey, I'm not just hey, it's a blame to go to everybody. So, hey, it's not just Democrats because for real, the people that are supporting Biden, they're not Biden supporters. They're not even supporting Biden. They're Democrat supporters. That's different. They support Democratic Party. So there are some people that vote for Trump who are not Trump supporters. They're Trump voters. And those are differences. Those are people that go, who I pick? Which one I pick? Basically, they do a little bit more than that. All right. Man, I tell you. 28,000 people watching somebody talk about somebody else's relationship. Yeah, me and Mrs. Black. I wonder how many people would tune in for me and Mrs. Black to talk about that time I didn't put down the toilet seat. If they could get 28,000 on the show where it's not even them talking, somebody else talking, that's when you are famous as hell. You are you are amazingly famous. You Kanye West famous. When the show that's talking about the show and it's not even a dead body or an arrest involved. There's not even a cocaine binge involved, a rehab Betty Ford clinic involved. There's no arrest warrants, nothing. Nothing. Just some young rapper or singer. And that's all it took. That's how much they wanted to get away from George Floyd. That's how much they wanted to get away from defund the police and move to something else. And you let them. You let them move. And it wasn't even a story. That's all it took. Even Will's like, oh, oh, oh. Even he's like, I can't believe it. Well, because he can't believe that people are that focused on it. It's amazing. All right, guys, I'm gonna move. Let's you know what? We don't need a break. I got my water. I got phone lines open. 319-527-6212. We ain't gonna take a break. We're gonna go right to phone calls. Let's go to phone calls. Oh, I'm rocking and nobody take your cornbread shirt. Nobody's taking my cornbread. It's been a while since I wore this, man. But this is like one of the originals, Johnson. This is for the old heads. This is for the vets, right? The veteran Tim Black supporters who know about keeping your cornbread, right? Those are people that have been around since 2016. You knew Johnsons. You don't know anything. This is the original. This is the OG status right here. You understand what I'm saying? Back when we said, you know what? They trying to take our voting rights. They're trying to take our privacy. They're trying to take our data. They're trying to take us for a ride, Johnson. They're trying to take, you know what? Don't let nobody take your cornbread. See, that's vintage. That's when we had 8-track players. And music was music. When you took a woman out on a date. I used to walk 3 miles with no shoes. All right. It's old school, boy. You don't know nothing about that. All right, guys. I have been told that I've allowed. I'm gonna warn you. I'm about to go to full out. Nah, I'm not gonna warn you. We grown ass people. Let me warn nobody nothing. Don't eat egg salad if you plan on riding the bus. That's the only warning you're gonna get. Okay, we'll go to the first call. 907. I want to check the volume 907 because you're the first call. Let me make sure volumes are cool. Cut you up a little bit here. 907, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello?
Hello. Oh, hold up,
Hi,
907.
it's the old lady.
That's my
Can
bad.
you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, sweetheart. Hello, Wolfpack. Much love to everybody.
You're live, Laura.
These times in my life help facilitate my community, and I got a hold of Dr. Reverend Barber's Poor People's Campaign, and we're going to start working on getting it started here. And I really would request that folks really look into that for their own communities, because we're all going to have to come together as individual communities to get ourselves through this just real horrific situations we're in. Any rate, that was something I wanted to say. But the other thing was, thank you so much for having Michael Moore and all your other guests on. And I went to Katie's page too and advertised for it. And I watched it all the way through, even when they said you weren't there. But again, thank you for broadening your ability to reach out to others. But the important thing I called about for me was that there's this campaign that's been going on by Bill Crystal, and he's a neocon, and the Lincoln Project putting out these ads against Trump. Now, what the big deal about this is that the people behind the Lincoln Project are all George Bush neocons, and they're going against Trump. So now we've got the Republicans throwing in with Trump, but against Trump, but they're throwing in with Biden because they know that he is amiable and has always been amiable to the racists of Strom Thurmond and all of his record. So when we're looking at this voting situation, it is really difficult to know that the choice those swing state people are going to have to make is horrible. But we need bigger help than just what's happening with inside our nation because of our own gerrymandering, because of how they've voter suppressed, etc. I suggest, and I'm to any international listener who has any kind of ear to anybody, our nation goes around being a big bully, and we sanction Venezuela. We sanction Iran. We even sanction our allies. During the PPE thing, remember, we told India and other nations that if they didn't give us their PPEs, we would sanction them. Well, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Now the federal government says if you work for the federal government or a contractor, you must sign a pledge of allegiance, and this is no bullshit, to the state of Israel in order to have a contract to work with them, the government. That blew me on my butt. And I thought, wait a minute now, what are we going to do about this? If we're the ones going around boycotting and saying hashtag BDS, and we know how well it worked with Mandela in South Africa and apartheid, why doesn't the rest of the world, who already knows that we have 900 military bases embedded in their nations, they're outgunned, outbombed, outmanned by us, how can we get the international world to stop what we're doing to the international world and ourselves in a way that no one has to shoot, fire, do anything? And it was as simple as the nose on my face, I think. Why doesn't the rest of the world boycott, divest, and sanction from the United States? Stop buying our products, boycott us, stop put that travel ban on us. Do to us what we do to them, everything with the exception of military, the military play. We're already an international, multinational corporate country. That's all we are. We are just nothing more than a warehouse for multinational corporations to pay no taxes. And as major consumers, that's all we have ever been trained to do by commercials, is to be consumers, to be bigger, richer, stronger, faster, whatever. Buy this, buy that, and you'll be the best. Stop that kind of thinking. Only buy your essentials. Buy local. Take care of your communities. Keep on pressing on through whatever mode. Phones. If you're at a protest, bypass the major media. Keep broadcasting it day in, day out, because unless there's fires, they're not going to go down there and show the discontent. But I really believe that if our allies like Germany, who is so sick of us, Trump's trying to take us out of the World Health Organization. We don't even belong to the international criminal courts, which hold up the Hague,
All right, 30 seconds, Laura. We got to cut it off.
Be sanctioned. So it's time for the world to decide what they did in the World War against Germany and say no more. We have to ally and realign, and because our nation has a fiat currency, China, all they'd have to do is sell our bonds and we'd be done.
All right.
I don't want that to happen.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys. I'm going to have to try to keep the calls at about 5 minutes, guys. And that's really the limit. What's 3? I know people saying, great call. But we're going to have last show we had 20 people that didn't get a chance to talk. So I'm gonna try to warn people and let them know we can't just talk and talk. We gotta go. Keep it going. All right, 408. You live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
It's Alex from Berkeley.
All right, Alex. What's up, man?
You hear me?
Yeah, we hear
Hey,
you.
what's good? Joe, huh? What was that?
We hear you, Alex.
Can't hear you. Oh, okay. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, and Kanye West. Are we okay, Tim? If this country was a person, we'd be a delusional, morbidly obese, stage 4, cancer-ridden. The stupidest Game of Thrones episode in history. I'm in shock that things are as bad as they are, but then I realized, no, I'm actually not in shock. This is America. You know, I don't know whether you've been following the Saddam Hussein of the United States, Donald Trump, but like Adolf Hitler, one of the first things he did to whip people up into a blind frenzy of ugly nationalism is make a real ugly stink about the desecration of the national deity. Excuse me, flag. In almost identical language to Hitler, saying to his supporters a few days ago that people who burn the flag should be put in prison for at least a year. Well, with that statement, I've decided that Joe Biden should not be president, but Donald Trump should not only be president, I think he should leave the country. Because if you're that anti-First Amendment, if you're like too anti-First Amendment for Pat Robertson and his posse of Christian Taliban right-wingers, you're not supposed to be president. And, you know, I don't think you should be in the country. You know, one thing you don't touch in this country is my First Amendment. You don't tell us how we can protest you. That's not how the First Amendment works. Almost makes me want to vote for Kanye, almost, until 2 brain cells have time to rub together in your head and, you know, you realize, oh, right, he's an idiot. He's a straight up Trump supporter who would sell out even worse than Trump did. And, you know, I'd bet money that he would get China and Russia to start a hot nuclear war with each other by accident. You know, if anyone could do it, it would be Kanye. They call it the Kanye foreign policy. The best thing for black people he ever did was take the mic away from Taylor Swift and get everybody to look at Beyonce. You know, by the way, that was a great WWE moment. Unfortunately, you know, he's a total sellout. So, yeah, this is what we got. Everybody vote third party or write in, I don't know, Cornel West. You know, since we're so celebrity crazy when it comes to the White House, let's get Cornel West in there. Fuck it, he should be president, you know? Because, Tim, I don't like Joe Biden. I don't. Words can't describe how disgusted I am of this motherfucker. He just does it to me, you know? Like, but he boils my blood, sends me to the fucking moon. My blood pressure is probably over 280, over 390, thinking about him right now. You know, just thinking about that condescending corporate cancer lesion. People still tell me, if you're not riding for Biden, you're a bad person. You know? Yeah, don't vote for a friend of Strom Thurmond, and you're a bad person. How brilliant! No, at this point, I think you're a bad person if you actually support Joe Biden. You know, I get people who hate Trump worse. But if you actually like Joe Biden and you think he's a great president, you're a bad person. You know, again, if I touched women the way Joe Biden touches women, I would be in prison. You know, he must have nudes on the Illuminati to still be in such good standing with the media and the masses. And that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to help me out to one of those both parties suck Johnson shirts, if you don't mind, Johnson. All right, have a good night.
Hey, thank you, Alex and Laura. Both you guys are amazing. I'm just trying to respond to the feedback to keep it moving, but thank you guys for calling. Wow. Kanye West, thank you, man. I needed that. Laura says BDS America, and Alex says if you like Biden, you're a bad person. hey, that's why we watch the show. 859, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey Tim, it's Oz from Kentucky again.
Oz, what's up, man? I'm good, fam. What's up?
Hey, So if you recall, last time I described how I'm an ex-con, I'm in recovery.
Yes,
But
sir.
anyways, I did time with a black man who he got locked up for a year for stealing a pork chop, I swear. And Bill and this dirtbag degenerate Roger Stone, a literal cuck, gets he cucks his wife to blackmail politicians. That's why I kicked off the Dole campaign. He gets a pardon. The ruling class have a separate justice system. Got Jeffrey Epstein rapes and traffic little girls and pimps them out to Trump and Hillary. And then we got the 13th Amendment for us. We got people fighting forest fires and digging ditches for 8 cents a day. If George Floyd would have happened during the Iowa caucuses, Biden would be gone. What now? I was at the Iowa caucus, actually. It's like thinking about another world back then.
Yeah.
And I saw how corrupt it was, and I got kicked out of that Marriott hotel where everyone was staying because I was arguing with some Bloomberg people with that. And Pete Buttigieg's what was his handler, that chick that was married to the governor of Liz Smith. Yeah. They're in there, sipping mimosas and complaining about them and sending them back. And that just shows how ignorant those people, these elites are. And I saw just think about how different it is now compared to then. And if the So I'm just, what now? That's all I got, man. You have a good one.
Wow, brother. Oz, my brother. A pork chop, Oz. Yeah, I believe it. I'm gonna go to the next call. I just want you guys to know, I love this shit. These people, you people are amazing. 617. You're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, it's Ben from Massachusetts. Thanks for taking the calls. I'm a 2016 Jill Stein voter, and I was a Bernie supporter, and, I voted for Jill Stein for obvious reasons, especially being in Massachusetts, a non-swing state. And then, this time around, I'm thinking back to, when we had those full debate stages full of like 12 people, like they got 6 one night, 6 the next night. I remember thinking to myself those nights watching that, any single one of these people would be 100 times better than Donald Trump. And for each of them, I have very, very serious critiques. But I think if we look to the point we looked at them and we said, hey, Yang Gang, come on board. We need you. We want you. We need you. And we didn't do a whole lot. We didn't, Bernie didn't pick up UBI or anything. But I think a lot of Bernie supporters looked at the Yang people who would refuse to do that and kind of shook their heads and were like, what are we doing here? Like, we can't all get together. And then same with a lot of, not to as much of an extent, but the Tulsi voters, like when she dropped out, not all of them were there for Bernie. They said, Bernie treated Tulsi bad. Bernie makes enemies. In NCAA basketball. Played well, but we did get knocked out. And at this point, I'm not at all happy about Biden, but I'm 100% going to vote for him. Trying to get other people to vote for him, and I'm not giving up on progressive causes in Massachusetts. I'm trying to help get Massachusetts level Medicare for all. So there's things to look forward to in the future, even though Biden is not our solution. So that's what I wanted to say, Tim. I appreciate you doing your show. I'm a big fan.
All right, thank you, Ben. I appreciate you calling up, man. Those thoughts you have about 2016, or not 2016. I'm sorry, 2020, and about the election, man. I would not it took me a while to get to the point where I realized that it's all water under the bridge, man. I mean, at the end of the day, even if Bernie would have pulled these people from Tulsi or from Yang, it wouldn't have made a difference. Neither one of them had the requisite pull, the amount of pull that would be needed in order to win in the South. So that's what and don't get me wrong, it would have been great, but I don't think it would have made much difference. And we could kick ourselves for, a lot of what happened. I don't think it has anything to do with how we acted online. It's just that we're online, so we think it's a really big deal. But there are millions and millions of people voting that don't frequent Twitter arguments. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know any of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like they're not privy to these interactions. Those are just the diehard, really deep into politics type people. And what was needed to win that election were the people who are peripheral to politics, who don't tune into politics to that extent. Remember, most Americans don't even vote in the primary. So the ones that do vote, some of our older voters who are not privy, and they definitely didn't know about, what was said in a chat room or what was said, discussed in a thread on Reddit or what have you. And that's not to make light of it, it's just reality. Now, this was an institutional thing that was done to put Biden, and if it wasn't going to be Biden, they were going to run Bloomberg, and Bloomberg was prepared to spend a couple bill, if need be, to get the same result. So they were running everybody at us. And those who we could have consolidated early with were trying to run their own race. And then don't forget that Elizabeth Warren stayed in it when there was no hope for her at all. Just long enough so that all of Bernie's momentum could be thwarted. I mean, there's anyone who doubts that? That's why when I say, people have a lot of criticism for Michael Moore, like I said, he's the only one I heard calling out Elizabeth Warren on a public stage like that. I mean, he did to Elizabeth Warren what she tried to do to Bloomberg. So, and she had been in 2 films of his. So, anyway. Anyway, I'm going to go to the next call, man. But, 707, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. Hi, it's Mary from Santa Rosa.
Hey, Mary. What's up? What's on your mind?
You know what? When you talk about Elizabeth Warren, I just cried tears of joy because it's so incredibly beautiful. You just encapsulate her so perfectly, and she is really the belly of the snake that crawled beneath the belly of the snake. Good night, Tim. Love ya.
Love you too. God. Look how, see what I'm saying? How Mary came in effective, had her thought already. Bam! Drops the anvil, drops the elbow. That's what we would say back in the day when we used to watch wrestling. Thank you, Mary, for your phone call. 609, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? I'm sorry, 609. Let me try one more time. You're live, 609.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, can you hear me, Tim?
Yeah, you're live.
Oh, great. Yeah, Tim, I just want to, it's an honor to talk to you, man.
Well, thank you, brother.
You say everything that the way I feel, man, about Biden, about Democrats, about all of that. Obama, I feel exactly the same way. I'm a 64-year-old boomer. I've been voting for the Democrats since I was 18 religiously. And I've just seen enough, man. I'm done with them. There ain't no way in hell that I'm going to vote for Biden. People can call Trump all the racist they want and all that. But Biden is boots on the ground racist. He's the smile in your face racist. He's been putting policies against us and saying things about black people for decades. I'm not going to vote for that, And, Trump has been demonized since he took his hand off the Bible, and of course they're gonna make him out to be this big racist and all that, and he does throw meat to his base, on his racist base, he throws meat to them. But Biden, Hillary, look at what has gotten better in the black community, I try to say this to people of my generation. They look at me like I'm absolutely crazy, but I'm not voting for Biden, and I might be crazy enough to vote for Trump.
Oh.
That's the way I see it, Trump has done things more for the black community than the Democrats have done since LBJ. And if he did one thing, that would have been more than the Democrats have done. I'm breaking the cycle with the Democrats. I'm keeping my black vote to my damn self. I'm not voting for him no more. I agree with everything. Obama was the package, like you said. He was the polished, packaged politician, made everybody look good and feel good. Oh, my God, look how nice he is. Look how nice he talks. Look at Michelle. Look at his daughters. Oh, my God, wonderful, wonderful, And he threw us under the bus the 8 years he was in there. The only situation that he expended any political capital on was the transgender bathroom issue. He went knee deep into that one. So I'm done. I'm breaking the cycle, as I said, Tim, and keep doing what you're doing. I agree with you 100%. And just keep up the good work, bro.
I will, family. Thank you for the phone call, man. I can't. What I'm gonna say? What can I say? Specifically, okay. So it's a coin toss. I mean, these people who think that Biden has what he has is more black support because he has more black elites in his corner than Trump does. But what he's done is nothing. Biden was in office with Obama for 8 years. What initiative for black people did Biden and he take up? Like he could have. I keep hearing how close he is with people in South Carolina. I'm like, well, what did he do in South Carolina? I come here all the time, and I come here. I eat the food. Me and my wife in jail. We say, well, what did you do? Well, we know the people. We know they all know me. They know Joe. They know. Well, what did he do? Well, he's got a good heart. What did he do? Well, the time he came by. What did he do? Name something he did, Jim. What did he do? Stop telling me what you know. Tell me what the man did. Sit your ass down. It pisses me off, man. Look. I was in South Carolina. Watch my video with Michael Moore. I show some footage of being in South Carolina. I was in South Carolina on the eve of the vote, before the vote, right? So there was still a time when this was before the anvil dropped, when, Biden took South Carolina by 30 points, right? This is when we thought we were close in South Carolina. We might even pull South Carolina out. I was in South Carolina. I interviewed Ro Khanna, Nina Turner, Danny Glover, ran into Ari Melba, interviewed him from MSNBC. David Weigel was there from Washington Post. He interviewed me. I interviewed him. I met all these folks that I'd seen in Philly that I met during 2016. And I did a live stream with Benjamin Dixon, who everyone's bragging about how nice and great Benjamin Dixon is. In our live stream, Ben Dixon was sticking up for Jim Clyburn, telling me Jim Clyburn's a good man, that he had breakfast with him that morning. It's all on this live stream. Jim Clyburn stabbed us all in the back, and Ben Dixon was defending him there. And then all I hear about a month later is how progressive Ben is. And if I'm supposed to and because Ben is black, I'm supposed to I'm supposed to be like, okay, that's fine. He just kissed Jim Clyburn's ass the entire weekend or whatever, went on a live stream and defended him against me saying that Jim Clyburn takes a bunch of money. He takes records amount of money from the pharmaceutical industry. Jim Clyburn. And you're telling me how great a man he is. Now, I don't know how many people watch that live stream, but I have it. Ethics matters, man. So, back to Joe Biden. What did Joe Biden do to earn black votes? Nothing. And he doesn't have to do anything because he had people that will vouch for him and fight for him and fight for his surrogates because it's advantageous for them. And people like myself who have integrity, who stand up and say, I don't care what he looks like. I don't care what kind of comb he uses to brush his hair. He's a sellout. And he sold us out. So Joe Biden has never done anything for the black vote. And this man said, well, I might just vote Trump. What am I going to tell him? No. I won't tell a Joe Biden supporter not to vote for Joe or a Joe Biden voter, and I'm not going to tell a Trump voter not to vote for Trump. I'm just not going to do it. But I will not shut up about either one of them. And that's the deal, Johnson. I told you. Electrocution or firing squad? Which one you want? Biden and Trump. All right. And some will disagree, and I get you a disagreement. I'm just saying, that's how I see him. 708. 708, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, I think that's me.
That's you, my friend.
What's going on, man?
I'm good, fam. What's up?
Well, I'm going to say it like this, man. I used to vote Democrat, and I agree Trump may not be perfect, but I think that the House and the Senate should be flipped red because the Democrats think they own the black vote, and by us constantly voting for them, that's why Biden said what he said. If you ain't black, I mean, that we ain't black if we don't vote for him. Basically saying we ain't black if we don't vote Democrat. But the Democrats is pushing socialism. I was talking to one of my friends that's been in the political field for a long time, and he said, think about it. Every time Democrats get in office, then they push a link, more dependent on the government. When Republicans get in office, they push them for more independence, and the money flows when you look at it. You know, and that's why I try to spread the word like, hey, you know, the Republicans ain't perfect, but they do help the community. What? You know, they do help the community, though. You don't think so, man?
Man, go
perfect,
man, finish.
I think we need to.
Man. Go ahead, man. We'll let you finish, man. Man, are you trolling?
You think about it, man.
The money flows. To who? Who did money flow to under Bush, man? Who did the money flow to under Bush?
Well, I'm gonna say it like this. I got a business. So every time a Republican in there, my business be doing good, 401k be doing good. I said, uh-oh, I'm voting the wrong color. You know.
All right, man. Look, I appreciate you calling up with your honesty, Bram. I appreciate it, man. Please, man, stop listening to your friend, bro. Like, don't listen to him. Man. All right, so I'm not here to tell you that there's no racist Democrats, because there are, right? So it's not even about race, because we're going to find that both places. At the end of the day, the policies benefit the corporations, okay? So that's the real deal. Like, corporations made out under Obama. I don't know what you're talking about. Corporations did fantastic under Obama. When you talk about socialism, we had socialism for corporations, not for people, okay? That's what the bailout was. That was the biggest exchange of money. These bailouts have been for corporations, not to us. That when your friend's talking about socialism, he's talking about schools. And that's not the Democratic Party. That's progressives want schools. Do you realize that at a point in time in history, there was no high school? We had to decide to make high school available for people for free. Once upon a time, college was inexpensive. Anybody can go to college. That doesn't exist anymore. To want that is not to be some crazy socialist idea. Healthcare. Every other major company provides that to their citizens. It's what they do. Because without being able to go to the doctor, people die, Johnson. So your friend who's talking about socialism, the fire department is socialism. It's something that's used to benefit society that's provided by the government. Police departments is socialism. Right? It's something that we use that's provided by our government, by our state government, and funded by taxpayer dollars. What, Cookie, please don't listen to your friend. Tell your friend sit his ass down. There's socialism, what they call it. We got rugged individualism for the individual and corporate welfare for the corporations. That's what's going on, and it's exacerbated even further under Donald Trump. Trump cut so many social programs. We got seniors that can't even afford their medications. And Obamacare was so damn high, we got people basically living out of tents trying to pay that damn bill. So both are bad. But don't. I gotta push back on the notion that the Democrats, the Republicans, the answer. They're not the answer, Johnson. They are a different answer, but both answers are wrong. You know what I'm saying? They're not the right answer. They're a different answer. The right answer is to get rid of the corporate Democrats and get rid of the neocons who want to take us to war, which is both of them. All right, I'm going to go to the next call, man. I appreciate your phone call, though, man. But that was hilarious, man. What? You say what? Man, we need to get with the party that really likes us, the Republicans. No, man, they just like green, baby. They like green. So do Democrats. Nancy Pelosi is a very rich lady. Her refrigerator costs more than my car. 412. You're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, it's Uli. I can't believe I'm already on.
You are, Uli.
I literally came on from work and I missed your monologue. I have no idea what you talked about. I'll have to catch up later. Got stuck at work, man. But I've been wanting to call in for a minute. And so I got three things that I thought I'd be better prepared, but like I said, I just ran in from work. The first thing is about the corona, where I've been following this closely. What I like about the corona, sounds funny, doesn't it? But the corona, it joins the world news. So, like, for a while there, it's sort of starting to simmer down a little bit, but all of a sudden, like, everybody's news was sort of the same. You tune into Italy or France or Germany or whatever, everybody's talking about the same thing. I think what that did is, though, also, it brought out the comparison like it's never been compared before, right? I mean, you just mentioned healthcare. So, but people talk about, social distancing and mask and all, and in healthcare, of course, healthcare comes up. But one thing I've noticed that, is not being talked about here in this country, and somebody posted a graph the other day saying, look how Italy flattened the curve, and look how France flattened the curve, and Germany, and blah, blah, blah. Sort of in the context that, we weren't given the right guidance here, and maybe the people aren't disciplined enough here, and whatnot. And that's bullshit. Because what people really don't talk about is paid sick leave. Back home, you all know I'm German, so, when you get sick, you stay your ass home. You call, and, and it's not, people aren't happy, but, hey, you're sick, get better, come back as soon as you can. Naturally, we have healthcare, and you can see a doctor if you need to, but, sometimes you're just sick. Sometimes you're just under the weather, and you need 3, 4, 5 days to recoup, and you're fine. And you know what? You know what happens in the meantime? Your pay goes on. Your pay goes on if you're seriously ill for up to 6 months, okay? Everybody hear that? Okay? 6 months, you get paid. Okay, and then you get it cut down. There's there are stages. And don't quote me. Look it up. It might have changed a little bit because I've been here almost 30 years now. So things have changed since I was living there and grew up there and whatnot. But I know you pay goes on. It doesn't go on for 3 days or 5 days or 8 days. It goes on a while. All right? So that will flatten the curve like nothing fucking else. Oops. You know what I mean? But it really upsets me because it's not just about the COVID. It's about everything else. You know, people got to work. They can't stay home. They have no paid, you know, if they're lucky, they got a week's worth of paid vacation, whatever. So the kid gets sick, so they take their vacation.
Right.
So the kid can stay home from school. But that's how disease gets spread. That's how the flu gets spread, and the cold gets spread, and the freaking COVID gets spread. You know, and I've been feeling off and on under the weather, but do you think I'm seriously going to go and get tested? You know what that do to me, my coworkers, our business? It'll shut down our store. That's what'll happen. Because let's just say I test positive, then everybody I've been around with, which is all my coworkers, and we're a relatively small crew, then they got to quarantine too because they've been around me, and my business shuts down. Our store shuts down. So anyway, so that's one thing I've really been dying to get rid of. Like,
wow.
And people need to talk about it. Paid sick leave. It's not just the health care. It's when you're sick, you stay home, and you don't go bankrupt because you're sick a week. So that was one thing. And I know 5 minutes, but I'm trying really fast. The voting, everybody talking about Trump and Biden, Biden and Trump, and Trump and Biden, Biden and Trump, and we'll get all caught up in this national media circus. People, please focus locally. Local. We got to change this shit from the ground on up. Unionize, meet, you know, small groups, talk to your co-workers, you know, like we always say here, sprinkle a couple of facts, walk away. And again, the corona is really bringing people together and making them open. So you can just say, well, you know, if I had paid sick leave, I wouldn't be here coughing on you all now. You know, and walk away. Let it go. Let them do this research. Let them do that. I'm so sick and tired of people, like every time you say something like, well, this did and so-and-so did and that happened. Oh, give me a link. Find your own freaking link, okay? Find your own link. If I could spend 3 days sitting here searching the internet, used to be easy when everything was out of books. You know, I have an extensive library here. So, well, give me a minute. I go downstairs, I find the book, and here it is. Now, you know, I research a lot on the internet, and I do it for myself. I don't do it for, you know, to get a doctorate or whatever. So I don't take notes. Sometimes I don't even bookmark the pages. You know, I read something, I internalize it, I remember the basics, and I move on. And then people like, well, you know, give me a link. Find your own link. What am I, your lab assistant, your secretary? No, find your own link. If you act like you want to know, then go and find out. And, like, so with the voting, look at your local people. Like, there was a really great guy, and I'm far from Louisville, Kentucky, right? But, yeah, I'm, you know, part of the group and whatnot. So there's a guy, his name was Chicory Arthur, and he ran there for Metro Council, whatever this is, but he had a great agenda. So I'm sure there is someone like that somewhere in your neighborhood or whatnot, you know what I mean? And he got in too. So start small, because you got to look at your, you know, your magistrates and your police, sheriffs, and all these little offices. They're all up for vote. So vote down ballot, show up. Don't just not show up. Show up and leave the national bullshit, leave it blank. And if you're part of the Ados family, write in Ados. Please write in American descendant of slavery. Let them know that you were there, that you're not lethargic. You know what I mean? Let them know you're there. You're there, but you're not voting for one of. I don't want to go there. It gets too much attention. Focus locally. And thirdly and lastly, I promise, and this will be fast, your Chicago rant that you did like a week ago or so was one of the best ever. I loved how you went off. You know, because someone said, like, well, you know, what about Chicago? I am so sick and tired of it. And here's the same thing. Everybody talks around the issues and around about and around about and around about. And the real issue is that poverty creates desperation, and desperation creates what we refer to as crime. I don't even want to call it a crime. But, you know, you got to eat. You got to freaking eat. And if you have a record and you cannot find work and you cannot find housing and there is nothing for you, still got to eat. What are you going to do, huh? What are you going to do? So you sell a bag or something, and they bust you, and now 3 strikes, you're out, now you're gone. Now just forget it. And that takes breadwinners away from families, rips family. We all know this. I don't need to go into it. And the real issue between the black and the white community is that this government owes the black community a debt, owes the descendants of the slavery and Jim Crow and all this, where your grandpa, not yours, Tim, but my grandpa or whatever, we all had chances to accumulate a little bit of something and a little bit of something, and great-grandpa helped grandpa, and grandpa helped pa, and papa helped me, and that's why I'm living the life I live. Without my parents, I wouldn't live half as well as I do. But black Americans never had that, and they don't have that, and they are owed reparations. And when it comes to ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, that's what ADOS stands for. All of a sudden, everybody acts like they never even heard the freaking word reparations before. They've been dealt out globally for centuries. Reparations have always been paid. Go back to, they've been paid in the Middle Ages. They've been paid, and they're still being paid to people. But when it comes to American blacks, reparations, what are you talking about? Ooh, that's complicated. Oh, we don't know how to do this. Get the hell out of here. And that's what would solve Chicago, and that's my rant. And I try to make it fast. It was good talking to you. It was good speaking with the Wolf Pack and being here. You all have a great weekend, and hang in there. And focus on the issues.
Thank you, Uli. I appreciate it now. Wow. Uli, you try to talk fast. You went long, but I haven't heard from Uli in about 2 months or something. Feels like 2 months. At least a month. So I use my discretion. 310, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim.
Hey.
How you doing? This is Smooth Easy. How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's going on, man? The phones are working. What's on your mind, brother?
Man, hey, you had two people that came on that the guy that's talking about the Republicans,
yeah.
I'm still laughing about him. But the lady that just got off, she was spitting facts, my brother. She was spitting pure facts. And I just like to add on that Biden and Trump situation. It is just bad news all the way around. But the one thing that we got to remember is that we got to vote Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, this Mitch McConnell guy. They got to go, man. I don't know why it's so hard that people can't see that they are the ones that's creating this situation we're in. They gave Nancy Pelosi, did not fight and put anything in any of those stimulants for the small business owners. She definitely didn't give any of the people that got to go to work every day anything. And they still scrapping about whether they should give a stimulus check. It is absolutely ridiculous. And as she was saying, and as you've been saying for the longest, and I've been saying this myself, we're the only country on the planet that don't have health care. Yep. That is ridiculous. You got all these billionaires and zillionaires that all this money flows to, and you're too afraid to cut these damn politicians' pocket strings loose. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I hope that you continue the good job that you do, Tim. This Wolf Pack, I'm all in with you. That's all I want to say, because if I keep going, I could go off on some stuff. But I enjoyed the people that came on before me. Tim, keep up the good work, Johnson. Appreciate you.
You got it, Johnson. Thanks for calling, man. Haven't heard from you in a little while, man, and we're trying to get things square, man, but it's good to hear from you, Smooth. I'm going to next call, man. You guys are saying everything I'm thinking. I appreciate you. 559, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? There you go.
Oh, Brother Tim.
Yes.
Can you hear? Hey, it's Brother Eric. How you doing?
Hey, Brother Eric. What's up, brother?
Oh, just day by day. But, boy, like you said, a lot of people just kind of miss the overall, and you can't miss the overall. Like, well, what's the point? It's like the statues. That's just to get people's attention. It's like, was that the end game in of itself? No. No, it wasn't. It's to get somebody's attention. And there's other statues to go after if you still need to get attention. But, I mean, shit, keep the goddamn statues. I want my money, just to use the popular vernacular. I mean, so like, hey, do whatever the hell you want. Paint it, whatever you want, or, again, but as long as I have my, my paper straight, hey, we're good. Because, again, it's you've seen it, the way everybody, I'm sure, listening has heard it. You see people that, they're just so great, and they got that con going, gee, gosh's golly, and all of a sudden they sober up right quick. When you talk about that bank account, now how much? Well, now. But you know who an idea to collaborate with, a guy named Anand Giridharadas. He wrote a book called Winners Take All, the elite charade of the philanthropy, something like that. Anyhow, that'd be great. I love the Michael Moore. I love the other interviews he did. But it's like the thing with Kanye, like we really have gotten to a point where what does a billionaire know about running the government? Doesn't know a damn thing. Why would we even think that? I mean, it's the same thing like with a businessman. Okay, yeah, I want you to make money for me because you're good at business. What the hell do you know about running a government? A government is not a business. It's a separate thing. It's a complete different mindset and mentality. You're not worried about efficiencies per se. I mean, it's no different like, okay, let's say, you have a family, Tim. Say I'm a single guy. I'm saying, God, Tim, you know what? Why does it take you so long to make a meal for your family? God, I'm in and out 15 minutes. I can eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner 3 times, over 15 minutes. That's efficiency, right? But wait a minute, Brother Eric, I got kids. I got obligations. I need to do more than just for myself. There's a routine. Kids need certain things. Got to go certain places, stuff like that. I mean, God, if these people had their way, Jesus, there's a reason why we have 2 kidneys, 2 ears, 2 eyes. I don't know, maybe that's not very efficient, but you know what? It's redundant. It has redundancy. It may not be sexy, but you know what? You lose the 1 kidney you have, you're fucked. So come on. And the only thing that we should be, allergic to is inaction. People are gonna do what they're gonna do, but they gotta do it with. Again, it's by force. Because people that talk about, the government's this, the government's that. Yeah, government. Come on, let's get serious, people. A lot of this shit's a game. Because look where this is a classic play. Let's distract them with, okay, they're off on the statues thing, so we're gonna go, just throw out some racist shit. We'll go him and a han and him, get them off to that, because where does it start? And this, it's like you rinse, repeat. Now, what are we fighting against? Yeah, what we're fighting against? We want systemic change, and we need to just stay on that message. Don't lose, the forest through the trees. Because we can do this. Again, I know people that work at Walmart. That store's got tens of thousands of products. You go in there and ask somebody, hey, I'm looking for this. Odds are they will know where the fuck it is. People are not dummies. So it's just about reallocating the resources. That's all it is. And we just got to start doing. We know what the hell we need to do. We just need to stop making excuses for it. Again, I'm not telling any, preaching to the choir, but no, Anand Giridharadas, that'd be a good one to do. Brother says a lot of good stuff. I think he had a show on Vice, but anyhow, keep up the good work, man, and just stay safe and stay healthy.
You too, man. Thank you, now. Yes. yes. Okay, lost that one. Let's go to 561. You're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Let's go to 561. You're live. Freedom Friday.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, how you doing? Who's this?
Let me mute the TV. There we go.
Okay, cool.
Thank you for taking my call, Tim.
No problem.
Now I got the volume up on the phone. Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I had a couple. Thank you for doing the show. I had a couple things to say. I enjoyed the Michael Moore interviews today. He gives you a lot to think about, and I think he makes good points. And even though some things I disagree with him on, I still think his points of view are valid ones to have. And I think that's something that gets lost a lot everywhere. Just to run through my few quick things. the guy that called in talking about Biden was a smile-in-your-face racist. He's right. But explain to me how Trump's not a smile-in-your-face racist.
True.
Of course he is. Trump isn't been an ineffective president. He's gotten very far with some things that he wanted to do. He's all about the green, like the guy just said. He's all about the green dollars. He don't see nothing but that. If it helps him and his bottom line, he's for it, and everybody else can go straight to hell. Bloomberg, you touched on him earlier, said that if it wasn't going to be Biden, it was going to be Bloomberg. Looking back on it, I'm not so sure that they didn't put Bloomberg out there just to make Biden more palatable to the American public.
Go on.
And then socialism. People call in, the Dems were socialists. Why is socialism such a dirty word? I know that if we take things to the extreme version, everything's bad. But we have plenty of socialism here in America, and we should start using it as a tool and not as an ideology. You can't even say the word without all of a sudden you're all the way on the opposite end of the spectrum. It shouldn't be an evil word. It should be used as a tool. Capitalism the same way. It should be a mix of the two. 100% capitalist economy would kill us. We wouldn't be able to survive. So we need to one's evil and one's good, because they're both evil and they're both good. So that's about the socialism. And my last thing is, I've been watching a lot of Paul Mooney this week. I've loved Paul Mooney for years, but watching a lot of him this week, and I saw some old footage, like I want to say it was late 70s, but right around that time period. And he could have released it yesterday.
It's funny, man.
You know when somebody's speaking truth. And it's the same problems. Same problems since before I was born. They've been talking about all of this. I feel I don't know what to do. I certainly can't vote for the architect of the crime bill, who is probably the biggest reason, most black people are in jail today, Biden. But Trump, who's obviously racist and would like nothing more to put twice as many black people in jail that are already there. So I don't know what to do. I don't know who is the lesser of two evils. I guess that's the only choice I feel like I have at this point. I don't want to make the lesser of two evils argument, but I don't know what other option I have other than just to lay out. And since my mom, she's from Trinidad, she served in the Marine Corps. She is the only one of her family. Well, now one of her sisters did too years later, but she was the first one, and for many years the only one in her family that bothered to become an American citizen, just because she wanted that right to vote, because she served in the Marine Corps and she knew that was her right, at the United States Marine Corps. And so growing up, I was always told that that's your duty. That's what you have to do. You got to go vote. This is your right. And I don't know the best way to exercise my rights right now. I don't. So I'm getting to rambling. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
You got it, brother. Thank you for calling in, man. Good to hear from you, man. That's what I'm talking about. He said he's not sure how to exercise his vote. I get that. 405, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim. This is Natasha again. I think I called in maybe 2 weeks ago or 2 Fridays ago. It's my second time.
Great.
And I enjoy your show. But again, I'm just going to have to talk about Joe Biden and the Democrats. People need to wake up. I saw an interview with Joe Biden. I swear, my God, he was talking about somewhere he was at a pool and some kid rubbed his leg in the pool. It was the most insane thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm like, what the hell is this man talking about? And it breaks my heart that, my parents' generation in South Carolina voted for his ass. What the hell? I mean, you couldn't have said it better. What the hell did this man do? What does he do? What did he do? It's insane to me. I just, you want to see more black people in jail, then put Joe Biden's ass in there. Then go ahead and put him in there. It's really to the point where damned if you do, damned if you don't. Ooh, is Trump better? They like to do these little, like, you know, puppetry. Hey, nobody gives a damn. That's really all I said. I can't. I really don't want people to vote for Joe Biden. You said you don't want to tell people to vote for Joe Biden. Please don't vote for his ass. I cannot take it anymore. These Democrats should be ashamed of themselves. They really should be.
Wow.
And the Republicans, where are they? Where are the conservatives? Where are you? Where's the conservative plan? Is there a conservative plan? No, not at all. They just want to criticize. And my last point before I get off here and go to bed. This Candace Owens and this Jesse Lee, these freaking black people that the only thing they do is talk shit about black people. What the hell are you doing? Are you a Republican? Do you care? Do you want to make things better? Or you just get paid to get up and just talk shit about black people all the time? All the time. It's insane. Just puppets. Just being used as puppets. They're supposed to be intelligent. Supposed to damn Brexit. Please. I'm over it. I'm just over it. And I pray and hope this country finds some sort of middle ground. Because we do need capitalism, but yet we do need socialism, things that we have now. Greedy assholes in the White House. You know what? Okay. Good night, Tim. Good night.
All right, Natasha.
Good night.
All right, now.
And, thank you.
You too. Be safe, sister. I appreciate you. Wow. I just want to remind people, like, you know, look, this is Trump took out this ad, right? This is Trump's ad he took out in New York, was it New York Times? What was it? New York Post? He took this out. Bring back the death penalty. Bring back our police. That's the 4-page newspaper ad Trump took out back around the Central Park 5 when they railroaded those 5 young men. They exonerated 5, later proven not to be the ones who did it by DNA. Were beat, tortured, and confessing to a crime they didn't commit. He wanted them executed. And here it goes right here. This is the guy. This is the guy that people like. So look, man, you're gonna have to miss me with talks about how he an option. And now he's talking. What's he still running on that? He's still running on police and bring back the police and go to jail for 10 years and put him in jail and stiff sentences, except for his friends. His friends, he'll get them out. So, yeah. And so how do you tell somebody to go Biden or to go Trump? You go with the guy with the crime bill or the guy who has been doing his best to run on locking up people. And he didn't say lock up he didn't take out a 4-page ad about the Aurora shooter, like Michael Moore pointed out. He didn't take out a 4-page ad about the Aurora shooter who went into the movie theater and shot 40 people and killed 12 people. He didn't put out an ad about that. But 5 teenagers being pushed and forced to commit to confess to a crime they didn't commit. Oh, he put out an ad on that. That's what I'm saying. Trump used race then. Well, Trump's it's just the media fabricating Trump. They just want to make him look bad. They just want to. He did that. He wasn't even a politician, and he did that. That was Trump being Trump. So, like, if you want to have selective memory, fine. But just lie to yourself. Just look in the mirror and say, self, no, Trump is a good guy. They just make up stuff about him. It's all lies. Look at him hanging with Tyson. He a good guy. You know, you can do that if you want to. But it don't make it true, Johnson. You have no good choices. Neither one of them are a good choice, okay? You in the same boat I'm in. Stop pretending Did one of these guys? All right, we'll go back. Now, 512. I missed you earlier. I want to come back and get you. 512. You're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, this is Sophia from Austin. Am I at a good volume, or do I need to talk louder? Or
You're good,
'cause
Sophia.
I know that you have audio problems sometimes.
You're good. What's going on?
I was just gonna. Have you seen that video of this woman from Austin being searched physically by an officer? Like, she is groped as he's patting her down. Have you seen that video?
I saw that video.
It kind of went viral.
Yes.
That's really, honestly, it's terrifying to me because, I have, PTSD, and, when stuff like that happens and someone's doing that to you, you're going to react. And this is Austin PD. These are the people who were shooting at innocent protesters from across the highway, shooting them in the head with rubber bullets. So it was one of the more notable incidents of that. So these are scary people. And, I just don't understand, how, you think about it, as a minority, our lives are in danger. It's a fact. Look at what's happening with the protests. It's like the police are extra ramped up. And because they stop you for something as much as a traffic ticket, and I have really bad anxiety. I can't control that. But then they'll say, oh, why are you nervous? People don't understand the struggle that, as people of color with, mental illness have, especially with the police. And, on top of this, that's sexually violating a woman. I don't care what procedure is. Would you want someone touching on you like that? Hold on, are you there, Tim?
Yeah, I hear you.
My phone went out for a second. But, that's just I'm terrified right now. And, I don't know, I guess I have to go as much as talking to my therapist about it. But it's I feel like people don't understand the urgency, and just, it's even worse than it was. I wanted to talk to you about Art Acevedo, because he used to be our police chief, and as bad as he's been in Houston, he was better than what we have now. And the crazy thing I learned is that the police that were the ones who shot those protesters in the head, they came here after he left. It's ironic because Art actually did the right thing. And when a 17-year-old was shot, he was 17 years old. It was a welfare check. He took some bad drugs, and he was having a mental breakdown, and he was naked, so completely unarmed, of course. And all he did was run towards the cop, and he got, shot up. And so Art actually tries to be honest and tell the truth and, be honest with the public and talk to the family. And they suspended him without pay.
90 seconds.
He actually did the right thing.
Wow.
That's how bad it is. That's why he went to Houston. I found out that the Austin Police Union, they're one of the most powerful in the country, which is kind of weird because they haven't been as horrible as they are right now.
Okay, Sophia, real quick, what state was that where he witnessed this, or where he got?
As a local,
60 seconds.
Used to the way things are.
Okay.
And now,
Sophia,
yeah,
what state was Art at when he was suspended for about the man that was naked?
he was here in Austin.
In
because
Austin.
he spoke out on the cop that murdered the kid.
Oh, okay. Austin and Houston. Okay, gotcha. And what was the kid black or Hispanic?
Yeah, he was black.
Interesting. All right, Sophia. Well, hey, look, thank you so much for the information, sister. We appreciate you.
No problem. It's just scary right now, but thank you for letting me ramble, Tim.
No problem. I
10 seconds.
had to kind of end it, but there was a short video I put out. It's something that it's kind of new for me to do. It's like a voiceover video. It highlights the story of a young man. I can't recall his name. I think his name is Matthew. His name is Matthew, and he was the same way. He had a mental episode, and he was running around naked at police officers. And they wouldn't do anything. They didn't do anything to this young man. And he had just killed his mother, his sister, and his nephew. Nephew was like 4, I think. And he was wanted for a triple murder. And they took him in. They chased him. He ran at them. And they did not shoot him. They did not tase him. They did nothing to him. They expended lots of manpower. And one of the main comments people had, I kept saying, this is how we want to be treated. It's not that I want Matthew to be gunned down, but I want us to be treated with the same respect as you treat a triple murderer who's naked running through a neighborhood. And there were people in that comment section, Sophia, who kept saying, well, he's naked, so he's not a threat. And then we have what you just described happen in Austin, Texas, where it was the same situation. A person mentally having a mental episode, naked with no weapons, and they gun him down. So I guess maybe I should have used that. And I wonder, that's how I know that people on Facebook, if you've seen that video I put out on Facebook, I didn't put it on YouTube. Because I'm pretty sure that YouTube would have had a problem with me putting that video. Because the man is basically naked. They blurred some things that shouldn't be shown, but you could still see he had no clothes on. It's just the comment section, man, was rich with defenders of police. Well, he's naked. There's no... Well, what would they say now that we know what we know because of Sophia? There'd be some other excuse, Johnson. Because there's always an excuse for why the point about the police and racism and how that plays into how they police, it's always a way to gloss over it, no matter what I present you with. Triple murderer, white, naked, running at police, nothing happens. People laugh. Oh, look at that guy's crazy. Ha ha ha. Black guy didn't kill anyone. Naked, running at police. That guy has to be shot, Johnson. And then lock up the cop, or, well, suspend the police officer who complained about it. You don't get it? You still don't get it? This is not the jury. This is how the police force acts. All right, I'm going to next call. Thank you guys for your patience. 262, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim. It's Catherine from Wisconsin. How are you?
I'm good, Catherine. What's up?
Well, I'm a little new to the show, but I've been watching you since 2016, so happy to be here, happy to talk to you. I'm a 31-year-old voter. I voted for Obama, I voted for Bernie in 2016 and 2020, and I cannot vote for Biden, and I feel absolutely cheated and violated the last 2 election years in a row. I really do. The DNC has been saying and had a judge say after the court case with Bernie's lawyers and the voters in 2016 that they have a right to pick whoever they want in their primaries. And it's just glaringly obvious with how Biden has risen in the polls and done absolutely nothing to get there. The DNC, once again, using Trump as the Pied Piper candidate to get people to defend Biden as the savior of the Democratic Party and the nation. BS. And the thing is that I have two kids, Tim. I have a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old. My 9-year-old was diagnosed this year with type 1 diabetes, and we need M4A. We really need Medicare for all. Trying to pay for her condition with what we have, it's difficult. It is very, very difficult to struggle with that, especially now during the COVID pandemic, and Biden still opposes M4A, and it's mind-boggling. And I just read a study about how after COVID, even after mild symptoms, there's lasting brain, lung, and heart damage after COVID, and people are actually dying with it or getting like heart complications and things like that last long after. And then you got people who are saying, "Oh no, this is just like another flu." No, it's not. And any medical professional will tell you as much. This is not easy for me to talk about either, but I am a rape survivor, and I mean, what message does it send to other rape survivors like me to replace one alleged rapist with another? What message will it send to my little girl, to other little girls, to young women? I can't, in good conscience, make a choice between an old white racist rapist with dementia and another old white racist rapist with dementia and then call myself sane. I know someone said to vote locally, and I do agree with her. But I would like people to look into the Green Party and see if their values align with yours. Don't vote against people. Or be used. Vote for those who align with you and your values and those you want for your kids and your grandkids and future generations. 50% of the vote, at least in the Green Party, ends the two-party system. And I know people say Green Party has no chance of winning, but again, that's not how democracy should work. And to those people that are saying that, I would like them to look up how Abraham Lincoln ended the Whig Party and established the Republican Party. And that's pretty much all I had to say.
Well, thank you so much for calling up. Welcome to the show. And Catherine, I want to thank you for sharing your story. And you're right about everything you said. About Joe Biden, about the choice, the dilemma, and it's even more. I like what would I look like trying to tell you, well, Biden, what's there to say? I'm so free. I'm so fortunate, Catherine, because my livelihood, my ability to do my dream job, basically, I didn't even know this was a thing. I just started doing it after work. 7-8 years ago, whatever. And I could have never foreseen this. But I'm very fortunate because I get to just say how I feel truthfully. And I can still look in the mirror and I can still feel good about who I am. And those people who hold it against me, they don't really hold it against me. They're just programmed to hold it against me because they don't want to get in trouble, even knowing me. But I can't tell somebody that they need to go against their ethics or their core values. So, sister, we feel your pain and I understand exactly what you're talking about. And there's things that you describe I will probably never fully understand. But I understand grief and I understand pain and I understand money issues and financial struggles. Uli spoke to some of it earlier. But thank you so much for your phone call. 267. If you're still there, yes, you are. 267, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim?
Hey, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got
Hey, man. This is amazing. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
you. Thank you, brother.
I'm calling because I want to talk a little bit about Joe Biden. I think, an unpopular view about, well, first I want to start off, I'm a diehard Bernie Sanders fan. I was really dejected after he lost a few months ago. And I really appreciated you kind of
being an advocate for people not giving up and not losing hope and keeping up the fight and just keeping the mission moving, and that we don't give up just because this one particular person is not representing us in the way that we think that we should be represented. Now, I think that Joe Biden is a horrible individual and that his policies and his record have never reflected the true mission or the citizens of the United States in a way that fundamentally serves them. But I think that he's a useful idiot in the same way that Donald Trump is. I think that we need to be tactful in the way that we make decisions about how we use these politicians to actually drive policies and make changes for future generations. And I think that while Joe Biden is not a perfect candidate, I believe that if we position politicians...
You sound very low, my brother. Some people can barely hear you, my friend.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, much better, much better. I'm sorry. I should have told you earlier. Okay. So you said Biden. You think we should vote for Biden, right? You feel that it's a useful idiot. Go right ahead.
I do not mean that as he's a good candidate or that he is for our policies. Just that there is a movement of people-powered movement that is taking root in the United States, and that Joe Biden is not cognitively aware or capable of stopping that movement. And I don't mean that in any kind of just like a hopeful way. Right. I think that I honestly believe that we can use him because the Democratic Party needs a direct opposition party. Like, they need the Republican Party to have any power in the government. Like, the only reason why we don't get like the kind of stimulus that we need in this coronavirus kind of epidemic is because the Republicans were there to kind of oppose them and give them a feigned reason not to actually represent us correctly. And I think that if we force a Joe Biden into office, but make sure that we are pushing through, down ballot ticket representatives and making sure that we actually turn the Senate, that the real movement is in that they no longer have an opposition party to kind of hide behind. They get exposed. Like, they can't just say that we can't fight for these things. But like, the whole reason why we don't have a universal healthcare policy is because Joe Biden and people in the neoliberal wing of the party keep representing it as too hard of a fight to actually fight against the Republicans against. That it's too much of an uphill battle. But once we remove that, and we don't need to have that much of a hold on the House or the Senate. We just need to have the same way that the Tea Party galvanized a few small, loud, vocal people to fight and make sure that nothing gets passed until we get heard. We get to be the voice of opposition. We get to be the reasonable voice that says that these are the things that we stand for as a Democratic Party, and that we no longer will stand for the bullshit that happens day in and day out for the past my entire life, because they've had some other, phony opposition, when in reality they're really on the same team, working together hand in hand to move policies that only serve capitalists and people in the elites. And
I get it.
I just wanted to say, I thank you for everything that you say. I know Joe Biden is a horrible person. I do not believe in him as a policymaker, but I believe in the people and that we can bully and push our agenda with him in the office, in the same way that FDR was sort of a class traitor, and that we can move our agenda forward by actually having, a mentally degenerating person that doesn't have any kind of real cognitive grasp on any of his own policies, and actually make sure that he does the things that we want. But we don't need to own everything. We just need to have a few key people in position and fight for those down ballot tickets. Fight for the things that we care about and be loud about it, and just keep on keeping on. Don't give up the fight. It's not over. And what else are we going to do? What else are we going to do? Keep moving. Don't stop.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for the phone call, man. I got to end it there, but I get your point, and for those, it's kind of hard to hear in and out. But what I get from what he said was, Joe Biden is a means to an end. He can be used as a means to an end, unlike Donald Trump. And it's sort of like the alternative narrative from what we've been seeing dramatically a lot. The populist, whatever. Without naming names. He's saying, let's use Joe Biden for what Joe Biden's good for. People keep talking about they're using Trump for what Trump's good for. I'm not sure what that is. But use Biden for what he's good for, and in his diminished capacity, he's not going to thwart the progressive movement. We have momentum at this point. It's not like we don't have the wind at our back, so to speak, where the sentiment of the people is galvanizing. I question how much of that is going to keep up. But we can't keep saying, in his opinion, I think he's saying we can't keep saying, okay, we got Trump, that's how we keep the movement alive. Biden is going to be a shell of himself. Now, I see your point. I would more resign. I would more embrace it if I felt he had a strong progressive running mate. But he will not, intentionally, he will not go get a strong progressive running mate. There are several. Senator Nina Turner would be uncompromising. Michael Moore brought up Michelle Alexander, the writer of The New Jim Crow, an incredible scholar and professor. More people should get that props. I hadn't even considered that. People pulling Stacey Abrams out there, but what about Michelle Alexander? But will he go and get someone that's progressive, who won't capitulate? So these are things, but I get his point, and like I said, I'm not gonna. What I'm gonna say? Are we gonna shame a voter who feels that Joe Biden, though he said Joe Biden, not a great person, not who I want, not who I would choose. Obviously, I'm a Bernie supporter. And still, so some people, that's not good enough for some reason. They've already demonstrated that they're not Biden supporters. They didn't vote for Biden. That's not their choice. But between him and Trump, they're like, I gotta go Biden. I don't think that you can just throw people away or chastise them for making that decision at all. Either way, really. Now, if you are solidly in the camp for either one of these candidates based on who they are, their track records, then I think maybe if canceling is the thing, I mean, I don't want to make canceling the thing, but you really got me thinking about canceling your ass. If you are firmly in the Trump campaign or the Biden campaign and aren't employed by either one of them. Because to me, that's lunacy. And to defend people who are firmly in those camps, get out of my face. But I'm going to go to the next call, man. Thank you for presenting your side of the argument, my brother. We got to turn that mic up, though, man. I'm glad we stuck it out, though. I heard your point. 360. 360, you're live. How you doing? Hola.
Hello?
Yeah, you're live.
Hey, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. The phone blocked out on the 360.
Cool.
Tim.
Hey. It went out again, man. It's not you, it's us, man.
There's a lot of the energy is like, oh shit. So I wanted to just do a 16-bar interlude, musical interlude to lift spirits. Anyway, so I'm sitting in my drum kit, and sort of, listening and watching and digging it. So I wanted to preface my remarks with a bit of background. In '65, I was studying to be a priest in Newburgh, New York, and with the Society of St. Joseph, with the Josephites. And my English teacher was Phil Berrigan, one of the Berrigan brothers. And the school was comprised of, so the Josephites had parishes throughout the segregated South. So the black Catholics could not attend the churches of the white Catholics. So the Josephites, the Society of St. Joseph, their mission was to set up these different parishes around the South. So all these kids I attended with I was like 15 at the time. They were from, Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Alabama, Corpus Christi, Texas, and even, as far north as Baltimore. So, and I don't know if you're familiar with them at all, but they're actually based in Baltimore.
No, sir. I'm closer to D.C.
Anyway, so it's just that experience at that young age. So 70% of the students, the seminarians, were kids from the South, and the rest were like kids like myself from the North. So I was from suburban Philadelphia, and that experience at that age was just, especially at that time, it was a little different then. The racial divide was not quite what it was then. So, but the message or the understanding was that living and working and playing and playing sports and
what's your point, sir?
With these kids are like, pardon me?
What is your point, sir?
Anyway, so the point was also so part of that experience was the coming to terms with the racial situation in the U.S. And the other part was that having Phil Berrigan as my professor, and being there when the Vietnam War started gave me this experience. So anyway, I've been struggling with the Democrats since McGovern in '72, so I can certainly relate to what's happening with everybody. And I have to say that this election is quite unlike any other in that the total disconnect between Biden and the voters is something that I don't think has ever happened. That this guy, he's not in this position because of the people are clamoring for Joe Biden.
Right.
I mean, this guy I mean, we all know this. It's like that this guy is the guy at this time. It's just unbelievable. We thought Bernie was going to be the emergency brake on this. We're on this, we're headed towards this cliff to oblivion.
Right.
And Bernie was, was going to be the emergency brake, and now we've got Biden. So it's really tough. And everybody, I would counsel everyone to, just vote what you believe, but to think that the Democrats are anything but totally corrupt. And it's, I think what you should do is someone with a lot of money the Democrats need the P Party, like the Republicans have a Tea Party,
yes, sir.
And the Democrats need a P Party, a progressive party,
Yes, my brother. Yes, my brother. I got to keep it moving, but Rev Marie is in my conversation. She's
every 4 years. It's like, yeah,
gotcha.
Vote for us, or I will kill you.
brother, I have to keep it moving because we're really up against it on the time clock. But I want to thank you. Rev Marie explained who the Berrigan brothers were, that they were pacifists and activists who were arrested. So that helped a lot. I get your point. Just be pressed for time, brother. And the backstory kind of lost me. But I do see your point, and it's very accurate. And thank you for calling. No disrespect. No disrespect. Thank you, Rev Marie. You know, I don't know who they are. I don't know who those people are. But I want to go back and get 310 because I want to try to get everybody in. 310, you're Live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, you talking to me, Tim?
Yes, sir. Yes. Who's this?
This is Smart Sister. What's up, dude?
Smart Sister in the house. What's up, Smart Sister?
Oh, nothing. Lord, that last call got me. Oh, I wish I could be there and be your call screener. I used to work in radio, and Jesus God, some of these people. But anyway, I called to say, first of all, my heart went out to that sister that called from Wisconsin. That is a survivor. I am too. I was raped when I was 6 years old, and I, totally get it. And it really kind of, it brought up some stuff. But I'm with her. I'm not voting for either one of them pervs. And what all of us got to do, you got to keep your head up. You got to think about your own family and work toward protecting yourself. One. Because I'm all with that NFAC that I saw. The Not Fucking Around Coalition, that is my theme from now on. Everybody needs to get strapped, trained, learn to protect your community or whatever. And then we need to, whoever wins, keep the pressure on to get what we want. Because we keep sitting around or thinking that these parties are going to do anything. They're not. They're two sides of the same damn coin. They ain't going nowhere, and neither are we. And either you got to quit strategizing or what. We already know what the hell they going to do and what they not going to do. So the question is what you going to do. Okay? Wow. We need to quit waiting around, and there is no strategy because they don't give a damn, neither one of them. Okay? It don't matter who gets in there until we get our stuff together and put your money together, because the bottom line, money talks and bullshit walks. You can buy politicians. Okay, so that's what we got to work on. What are the policies we want to get behind and get behind them all the way? And if we need to start a third party, Green Party, okay, you can vote for them right now, but nobody's really seriously tried to organize a party that's for real. Okay, because the Green Party just kind of comes around, okay, every 4 years. What are you doing to organize in between? And that's what I'm saying. People, we could start a people's party. We don't have to keep waiting around. What is the only way some stuff is gonna change, because none of them, they don't give a shit. They got their money, they don't care, and either we gotta quit sitting around bitching about it and organize. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Smart Sister.
And get strapped.
I feel you. I thank you. You know what, Smart Sister? I did a video on that. I did a live show on it, and you know how I came up on NFAC, how I feel about it. I'm going to put that video out over the weekend, because even though Roly Poly did a video on it, he don't sound like Tim Black when he talk about it. And he let us say, I'm the only black digital whatever. My video lets you know exactly what I support, what I don't support. 240. He also gave Terry Crews a cakewalk interview. 240. 593, you're live.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey. You are live, 240. Go right ahead.
Man, this conversations are fired up, man. I love how, because, November's around the corner, man. 2 months was August, 3 more months, months were there. I'm not hearing I know a lot of people, wondering, because like you said before, yeah, it is a coin toss because you're just picking between an electric chair and a firing squad, because neither of these people are going to be good for the American people. I think it's inevitable that the U.S. as an empire is collapsing and will collapse. The question is, what do the people do as it's collapsing? And a lot of the time, a lot of people realize that all the power that comes into a government is from the people. So the collapse of this government won't mean that we're going to be in big trouble, because it's not going to be like some crazy thing where people are going chaos everywhere. Nothing like that. It can be something natural where a new form of government comes into power, kind of like a people's government, just like that lady was talking about before. And this is something that is not new. This has happened throughout time. Rome was all of Italy. Look at Italy now. They paid a big price. Actually, Italy wasn't even a country for 300 years after Rome fell until Napoleon put one of his cousins in there and established the Italian peninsula as a country again. Throughout human history, countries come and countries go. This is a fact. A lot of countries, they keep their names regardless of whether they fall, just like Egypt. Egypt fell to the Greeks. A lot of people don't realize that Egypt as civilization, culture, all of that was conquered by the Greeks, and for a very long time the Greeks changed everything. They rule Egypt, and then again the Greeks rule over Egypt, rule over the Mediterranean, fell. All this comes throughout human history, that countries will fall, especially countries that are bloodthirsty, that are hell bent on having an empire, that its core foundations are of an empire, because this is the core foundation of this country, was of white supremacists who wanted to continue to have slaves, and they wanted to separate from England, because a lot of people don't know this. At the time, the British Empire was actually abolishing slavery, and was going to start to abolish slavery to its colonies as well. And this was one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, and part of the hidden history of the United States. To try to fight back and to have the revolution and to have their independence, so they could continue to enslave people. This is if the foundation is rotten to the core, then we need to take out the foundation and make a whole new building. And that's what we're going to do as a people. And that's all I wanted to say, Tim. Thank you for giving me some time.
Yeah.
Hope that sparked any thoughts from y'all.
Yeah, family, it did, brother. Thank you for calling up, man. I appreciate that. Man, I got the best damn callers on the internet. I can sit here and gloat for the next 5 minutes, but I'm not. I'm going to the next caller. 520, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, what's up, Tim? It's Sergio. I'm calling from Los Angeles. Appreciate everything you do, man, and appreciate all your calls tonight. Just trying to speak truth, because that's what we need, is more truth out there. One other thing, man, I'm just calling because I wanted to thank you for putting out the Guardado, the shooting that happened with the security guard from Los Angeles.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that whole situation. You know how the cops are, man. Especially with Villanueva, the guys we've had in there for way too long. They I don't know if you mentioned it the other day in your video that I saw that you did about it, about how they took all the video cameras and they haven't shown any of that to anybody. That's just wrong. So we need to correct the system, because the system is broken. We all need to get out and vote. More than anything, I was telling my friend the other day, I feel like Ed Harris from the movie The Rock. In the beginning of the movie, the SEALs got to go into Alcatraz, and Ed Harris is on the phone, you're talking to them, and he's like, well, hey, man, don't make me do this, because they get caught up. And so it's like, they gunned down, they got an angle on them, and it's like, after the shooting goes down, the SEAL team is wiped out. Ed Harris goes, how dare you make me do this? And that's how I feel like the Democrats have put us in that position. how dare they make us make this choice? But right now, we got to get Trump out of there because I don't even know if we can come back from the 200 judges that him and Barr have put in for life. I mean, to give him 4 more years of doing that, give Barr 4 more years of messing with our system, breaking it down even more, we can't have that. So everybody needs to go ahead and vote. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, brother, for bringing up that once again. Another great call, Sergio from L.A., man. Putting it down. Putting it down. They said they can't expose the body cameras for that young man because it will taint their investigation. Now, it will cause massive protest. He didn't have a gun. Shot that young man in his back 5 times while he at work as a security officer. 18. 714, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey. Hi, I'm a real Johnson from Southern California. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good, Johnson. Thank you.
Great. It's great to get to hear you and to see you. I'm a new viewer, so when I saw the Wolfpack, no offense, but I thought you were tied to TYT, but it's cool that you're not. I'm kind of cooling off on them anyway. So I just called to say that, for August, I'm so worried because after all the stimulus checks and unemployment checks run out, the completely corrupt Congress, and I'm including Pelosi and Schumer and McConnell, they're all so flippin' corrupt. They haven't given our people anything. And so black, white, they haven't given any Americans anything. So what are they going to do when people start getting thrown out of their homes and thrown out of their apartments? What the heck are they going to do? So that's the crap that really worries me. And also, I love your no Joe button because there's no way I'm going to vote for a guy that was shoved down our throats by frickin' Barack Obama. There's no way I'm voting for that idiot. And Trump, oh my God, don't even get me started on that fool. Jeez. The American political system is so corrupt that we need to, Bernie was the compromise candidate. He didn't even go far enough.
Right.
And to see the shocked look on his face when he saw the little trick they played on him, I was like, come on, Bernie, you should have known they were going to do this shit. Come on, man. So, but I'm going to keep it really short and say thank you. I appreciate you, and you have a great night. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for the phone call, new caller. Welcome to the Wolfpack. Glad to have you. Yeah, man. Yeah. Another 602 number. 602, we hot. You're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
It's Curtis. It's me, Tim.
$701. You're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Tim, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Tim, can you hear me? Nathaniel in the house.
Nathaniel.
North Dakota, Bismarck.
What's going on,
one
man?
thing I got to say to begin is if the American political system were to, well, first thing I got to say is if the American political system was the eagle, then the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, Joe Biden and Donald Trump would be two shit wings on a cuckoo shitbird. But what I wanted to say was everybody's got to get involved at the local level, sheriff, mayor,
judges, state attorneys, everybody needs to be changed. They need to vote in the people that they need to, and talk to your children, because in a few years they're going to be voting. They need to understand what the political system is doing to the country, and get them active locally to create ballot measures. Ballot measures have to be written up precisely. The more precise you write up the ballot measure, the less likely they are to change it. Establishing ethics commissions locally and in your state governments. Here in North Dakota, we made a ethics commission because we were trying to get industrial hemp legalized because it's a cash crop for the state. Right. And they took money from outside interests, Texas oil lobbyists, cotton farmers in the South to compete with the hemp products, and paper mills to compete with the hemp products. So they literally sold us out. They were bribed. Because what happens when you get a state attorney who's willing to prosecute bribery, then the politicians get prosecuted for accepting bribes and changing. On the other side, I just had a conversation with one of my friends online about the Black Lives Matter, because I did put up this post. It didn't say all lives matter. It said lives matter, and it had a whole group of American lives matter, and they were sort of offended by it. But the reason why I did it was because I wanted to have that conversation, because in my life, the way I was raised was, I do not stand by in the presence of evil. Where the situation happened with George Floyd, I'm more likely to get arrested than anybody, because in that situation, I would inform the officers, you got 2 seconds to get your knee off his neck, or I'm busting your ass. I'll stomp your ass in the ground. Get off of him. And I start advancing and letting them know that my physical presence is not going to back down.
Oh, brother. All right, now, brother, I'm going to end
motherfucker here. But the reason why I do that is
because you don't understand. It's the reason why you do that. You don't understand that it's not about you, what you would do. That statement is not about you. It's about America, brother. Black Lives Matter is a referendum on America's treatment of black people. The system, not you. You know, it's not being articulated very well across this country. Neither are the terms white privilege. You know, if you go through my library, for instance, and I know people don't have time, brother, Black Lives Matter is not an indictment of every white person. And it's definitely not it's not to diminish the value of other nationalities or races of people. It is to say emphatically that black people's lives should matter. And they have not mattered in this country to this system. It's not an indictment of every white person. And it's definitely not to nullify or diminish the value of white lives, brown lives, gay, any life. But when your post is lacking an understanding. Don't be so arrogant as to think this has anything to do with you, or that your individual good heart, goodwill, integrity is being questioned. So I want just know that. And the same thing with white privilege. Once again, but see, they continue to put these people on TV who will not articulate these concepts in ways that are simple and plain to regular people. White privilege is not about what you have that's better. It's about what you don't have that's detrimental. It's about not feeling. It's about knowing that even if you have a hard life, even if all the chips are stacked against you as a white person, based on economics, where you were born, your parents, your life situation, you may have been abused, you may not have had money, you may have been impoverished, you may not have known your parents. All those things. And I never take that from anyone. Ever will I take away the fact that your life may have been difficult or is difficult. The difference is very simple. Your life is not more difficult because you are black. Your life is more difficult because it's more difficult. But it's not based on the fact that you are a white person. That's not the cause of it. So once again, white privilege, as with BLM, is about a system. The government intentionally made our lives harder. They made them not matter. They made them oppressed. White people have not been oppressed. You individually may have had it harder, but you can't say that Donald Trump has. And there are a lot of Donald Trumps. Do you understand? So when they say white privilege, they shouldn't even call it white privilege. It should just be white. It should be black oppression. You don't have that, and you know that. You can't pretend that you do. And pointing at Obama and LeBron is not the standard for how black people are treated. So these are concepts, man. These are the language needs to be explained, and if you're not going to take time to explain it to people when they have these programs, they should shut up. You know, I don't know how many times I've tried to explain white privilege, and I'm not saying that there are other ways to articulate it, but Jesus Christ, to tell poor people that you're privileged because you're white, they don't understand it, but they will do it. If they are honest, they do understand that black people are diminished. They do understand that if they're being honest. Chris Rock had a joke. He said, there's a white busboy in here with one leg. He wouldn't switch places with me, and I'm rich. He'd be like, nah, I'm going to ride this white thing out. Because he understands how America works. And people act like they don't understand it. They act like they don't get it. You get it. You get it. You have friends. You live in a family. You know how even if it wasn't you, you know how some people are who look like you. You know how some people talk when we're not around. Come on, let's not act like we have amnesia. Let's keep it 100, Johnson. And look, and there may be black people who have negative conversations about white people, but they have no power. They can't stop you from getting a job loan, getting a job, getting a car loan, getting a mortgage loan, getting pulled over by the police. We don't have power in this society to use our prejudice against you. But how many black Karens are there? How many black people could call the police and have you hurt as a white man? Will they show up shooting? Because a black woman called and said you are scaring her. Would they show up and shoot you? Hit you, beat you up first and ask questions later on the word of a black woman? I don't think they would, Johnson. And these are very simple things. Now, I know everybody wouldn't get it. Some people are not going to be honest about the dynamics in this country. And it's not an indictment of those people, but they still, because they don't want to admit it. But these are just, I'm not talking about Larry Elder black folks. I'm not talking about Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum and other coons or whatever they are, these sellouts that Donald Trump likes. But these are just realities that must be accepted and cannot be explained away by people who are looking to benefit from these institutions or people in these institutions and these corporations. So anyway, my brother, I thank you. You were my last caller for the night. That's what enabled me to go on that little rant. It's not about what you have that's better. It's about what you don't have that's worse. Got it? And it's not about your life being more valuable or less valuable than black. It's not about your life, about you individually. It's about the collective. It's about there was no system in place. You didn't have to fight for voting rights till 65. We could be done there, right? we could be done there. You didn't have to sit on the back of the bus. You weren't lynched and ran out of your state to another place and then grabbed off trains and thrown in jail. Like, that happened. So and that was state sanctioned, Johnson. So we got to keep it real about these things and be educated about them and know that it's and just have these conversations when they, so that we understand. But I appreciate it, man. I got a great calls tonight. We had a great show tonight. You guys kept it 100. You make me so proud to be a part of this community, that you joined this community. I'm proud that you respect it, and the different voices, man. Oh man, I couldn't script a better show with better people. And now people say, Tim, you need to screen your calls. I get what you're saying, but how do you know when a gem's going to come through? And how would you know if you screen? How would you know? When you sometimes overscreen and miss a great caller like Sophia or Catherine? You would, because you are human. You be like, he's going to talk about this. So I don't know how would you. So I take the chance of having Scary Curtis call so I could get Smart Sister on the phone. You know? All right, guys. I love you. I'm gonna go to Super Chat now and read their comments. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who supports this show, man. Thank you so much for becoming a Patreon member. Thank you for keeping the lights on. Thank you for helping us do what we do. There are people who listen to the show who never call in, man. They hear you. We hear each other. They hear you. There are people in the chat that you don't know, that they see this, they watch this, they listen to this show. You matter. Damn it. All right, so now I'm going to my Super Chat, see who's out here. Okay, so this is froze up on me, but hopefully my comments are not frozen. What time is it? 2:00. Jesus Mugabe. Man, we be going, don't we? We don't play around, Johnson. It's done locked up. I hope that YouTube looks like it's locked. Is my Facebook locked too? Facebook look like it's okay. Facebook looks like it's okay, but it's YouTube that's jacked up. All right, I'm trying to go back to YouTube. Hopefully everything's still there. Jesus. We got some people on YouTube still here. Damn it. We got some people on YouTube still here. Try to sneak in the back door to get back to the that sounded bad. I'm not trying to. Let's see if we can get here. There we go, guys. I'm back. Okay. I'm back now, guys. Thank you for your patience. Just had to reload the window. Homeless Americans, Phoenix. I saw a family today walking into the woods. And I don't think they were going there to camp either, Johnson. Or maybe they were going there to camp. You get what I'm saying? Mike, welcome to the Wolfpack, Homeless American. Jacqueline Richards also became a member. Thank you, Jacqueline. Welcome. Janice Reynolds, thank you for the donation support. Zachary says, see Nina own Messing and Uncle Tom doc by Larry Elder. I did see it. I commented on it, but I made so many jokes. I felt maybe I don't want to put that video out because Nina, for real, was calling out the racist liberal thing those liberals do that needs to be addressed, and I don't want to make too light of it. So it was funny, it was humorous, but it was also dead serious. And I think the dead serious part of it needs to be further diagnosed and not be overshadowed with the roasting of Deborah Messing, because we don't want to miss the condescension and the elitism in that Deborah Messing displayed, and how that's prevalent amongst some liberals, and that needs to be focused on, not so much the one-upmanship, but the actual condescension condescending that was being done to Senator Nina Turner, man, that's disrespectful in so many ways. So that's why they put out a video on it, because when I talked about it live, I chose to go to joke more, and I don't think I frankly thought better of it. I don't think it was funny. You understand what I'm saying? Like, as I reflected on it, it was very offensive. Mary Bishop. For the garbage people are talking about, gossip is so damn embarrassing. People in the gutter. That was my point. You get it. You get it all the way. Sheldon Hughes, spot on, Tim. That person just doesn't like Michael Moore. Thank you. And that's true. And I get that. And you're entitled to not like him. People are entitled not to like me too. I get that. Everybody can't like you, and that's okay. And they say, for real, if everybody likes you, you're doing something wrong. So, Roger Meadows, hey, Tim, you don't know Will and Jada, but I thought all black people knew each other. I mean, that's what they say about us, right? They say a lot of things that aren't true. Murray Bishop, Tim is howling, and I'm listening. I told him I would give him half, so now I have to give him 150 before and that 50 now. At 20 extra return, 200. Enjoy your piece, my man. I don't know what number she's playing numbers or something on, and when she hits, she's supposed to show. All I know is thank you, Murray. Thank you, Murray Bishop. Johnson. Roger Meadows says, hey, Tim, speaking of celebs, I've heard and seen everyone from Bernie campaign interview more than once, but the one person yet to come on camera is Glover. I talked with Danny Glover. I spoke with Danny Glover in South Carolina. He said he would come on the show. He is so hard to get in touch with. I got a shot. He agreed. I have him on camera, and I have him on camera agreeing to come on the show. Now all I got to do is try to get him to do it, right? Because he probably won't. It might be like, Tim Black. Everybody don't watch this show. They'd be like, then I'll be like, Nina, could you talk to him, please? But yeah, I would love to have Mr. Glover. He's an icon, but he's a philanthropist and an activist that only does what he feels is worth his time and his energy. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be just another amazing. Anyway, okay, Dom. I got 5 on the Tim. Weed fun. The Tim Weed fun. Rev Marie, this isn't Tim Black Got Talent. Sigh. Oh, you mean the drums? The guy playing drums? Roger Meadows. Lower fed courts not a product of the Constitution like SCOTUS, but a creation of Congress. Congress has the power to regulate them. They should pass a law that puts term limits of 4 to 8 years. Oh, the queue is over. They should pass a law that puts term limits of 4 to 8 years on them to undo what Mitch did. Peasant media. That's interesting. Yo, it's Oz from Kentucky. Peace to the gods. Everything is everything. All is one. Just Lisa. Thank you, Tim. They both suck. Why do people not realize that both sides are the same? You don't have to choose either. That's the problem. We need the whole system to be dismantled and started from scratch. Cyborg Manifesto said, appreciate you and all the Johnsons. Your talk with Michael Moore was amazing. Look at that. Brother, I'm just trying to tell you, I have K-Love Joy. K-Love Joy is helping me arrange these interviews because she has tenacity. She doesn't just take a no or a no response. She will continue to reach out and reach out and reach out. And she doesn't take it personal when she doesn't hear back. She just the next few days or a week later, she just tries again and keeps trying. And I'm so fortunate to have K-Love Joy as my talent, I would say coordinating of talent, arranging of guests, or however you want to call it, a director of these things, doing that for me. So K-Love Joy is the person under Team Black PR, at Team Black PR on Twitter, and client care at TimBlackTV.com. That's who does the show arrangements, the guest lineups. And we talk about who we're trying to get on the show, and she just goes. And she got Michael Moore. She got Reverend Barber. She got Cornel West. Enough said. No, no pity party. It is what it is. We do good work. We'll keep going. No one. Thank you for recognizing it. Serious. The United States of Johnson is nothing more, nothing less. We fight. Thank you, brother. Or Johnson, because I don't know. Just Lisa. I actually like this lady a lot. Oh, exactly. We need to take responsibility. Part of the problem, get involved in local elections. We need to care about others. That's the problem. And Tim, you are the only honest media person. Oh. Because I got you guys. I've already worked at the big companies when I was younger, I found out what people are going to find out. They're going to find out that at the end of the day, it's about legacy and it's about what you leave behind. And it's about what you stood for. And I found that out early thinking, well, if I could work here and do this and do that and I'm not doing that now. And I'm so much happier, and I have been for the last 5-6 years, and I just kept at it and never quit. So, as I said the other day, my superpower is telling the truth, and as long as I tell the truth, I will remain super. Unlike cable news and a lot of other, even some independent media, if I lie, I lose people. But as long as I'm telling the truth, I'm true to who I am and my brand and what I'm about, we will grow. And that gets me through any downturns, any fluctuations on social media. So it is my community. It is you guys. You give me the ability to do this and not have to sell out. Thank you. Just Lisa, vote out Pelosi. Hell yeah. Shahid Buttar will be back on the show, as will Jen. I'm going to have Jen Perlman on the show, who's going against Debbie Wasserman Schultz. We've had so much tech crap. But we have to get it all fixed quick, pronto, because those people got to come back on the show. Get involved. Thank you, Tim. You know it. Roger Meadows, the internet is socialism. There it is. Look at that. I figured out the perfect reparations. Hand over your entire government. Roger. Just Lisa Biden, who won't move even a tiny bit left since he's very right wing during a pandemic with a sociopathic president. He will not move left as president. Both are horrific, okay? I don't know what we should do. Maker of things. Minnesota police, 150 have filed claims for PTSD. Mofos. A new Tim Black Wolfpack member, Corey Foster, y'all. Welcome, Corey, to the Wolfpack. Good to have you. Kelly says, hey, Wolfpack and Tim, I saw 2 articles in mainstream media about Joe not debating Trump unless he promises not to lie and turns out his tax returns to the DNC convention. They'll cancel the debates. Can they just anoint one of these giant turds? Biden don't want to debate. He ran from Bernie like a beer. Roger Meadows, stop by the police, put on your best Wayne Brady. Hi, officer. Hi. My name's Cory Booker. I used to be the mayor of Newark. I have no hair on my face, but my girlfriend's name is Rosario Dawson. I'm a senator from New Jersey. We need more love. Owen Johnson. Heavily armed police presence outside precinct near my house tonight. 5 to 10 arrests, followed by peaceful, powerful march down Woodward and 6 miles in the rain. Rest in power, Hakeem Littleton, BLM. Thank you for the post, Owen Johnson. Carrie. Thank you, Carrie. Iron Man Oz. What'd you say, Oz? What's up? First one that proposes term limits will get my vote. No need for 40-year politicians. Diaper change is long overdue for the Schumers, Pelosi's, McConnell's, and Biden's. Life is not needed in House or Senate. I'm with that. Totally with that. Institutional. Mike Dundee, love the show and try and watch as often as I can from Melbourne, Australia. My brother from down under. Thank you, my friend. Mick Dundee. Thank you, Mick Dundee. I appreciate you. Greg Allen gave to the show. Greg Allen. Thank you, Greg Allen. Folks, we have put another one in the books. I'm telling you. It says police accountability reported on YouTube. We put another great show in the books. Thanks to everybody out here who shared the show, who called into the show. Had great callers, phenomenal callers. I don't know what to say. You guys destroyed. You guys killed. You told the truth. You told the truth tonight. Thank you so much for sharing some of you shared very personal stories tonight. I want you to know I appreciate you using this as a vehicle to do that. I could never ask that of you, but just know that when you do that, there's someone listening that you are not only touching and lifting up, but there's someone you're educating. Okay, so just know that I believe that when you take a piece of you and you put it out there like the way that you do, that's therapeutic, but also very helpful to people having a truer understanding of how our actions impact others and how our inaction impacts others, and that our cynicism is not the way to go, that these are real people that are impacted by these things. And it's easy to be cynical. So when you put a face, a voice, anguish, pain in your story and you tell it the way you do, because only you can tell that story, man, I think it resonates on a deep, deep level. I think it's amazing. I think that what you're doing is you're a hero, and heroes don't always wear capes. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for using this show to do it. Thank you for making this show possible. And I don't know what I would do without you guys. We got a good thing going on. And thank you guys. I'll see you soon. Look, be safe this weekend. Look for new content on the channel. Join the Tim Black Wolfpack for as little as $5 a month. It's well worth it. You're going to get at least 20, 30 shows a month. And I don't know who else does that. Okay? So, and join my text group if you want to get the inside and get, I'll text you important stuff. It's text the word cornbread to code 21,000 to opt in. And I won't text you a lot, but I will text you from time to time to update you and to some way to communicate with folks in case they take me off these platforms. What else I got? I think that's it. That's it. Follow me, Real Tim Black, Facebook, Twitter, Tim Black at Night on Instagram. Shout out to K Love Joy, all my great callers, all my great moderators. Give it up for my moderators. Rev Marie, thank you so much, sister. You ain't had to. Rev Marie dropped a big donation this week as well. Plus, she moderates and volunteers and does so much. Rev Marie, we love you. Sister, you're amazing. I want to dedicate this show to Rev Marie. Thank you for what you do. To Rev Marie and all of the Wolfpack. All of the Wolfpack as well. Thank you so much, guys. I'm out of here. Be safe. Remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. Goes for Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And don't be arguing with these fools either. Just sprinkle some facts on. And get out of there. Peace, Johnson. Wolfpack. Tim Black Show is brought to you live in front of a live internet, live audience. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Join the Wolfpack.